Welcome in. It is a Taco Tuesday live from the terrace here at Social Taco in the square in Homewood. It is balmy, steamy, just miserable outside, but it is a nice 68 degrees here inside of Social Taco. The door is going to open at 11 o'clock, and you can come and enjoy not only the tasty tacos, but things like chicken feathers, guacamole, adding bacon if you're feeling crazy today, and so much more. SocialTaco.bar for more information. Landry Roberts along with Pat Smith, Molly Robinson here on site. Conrad Van Order anchoring things from the studio of Jox. How is everybody today, Pat?
We're doing fantastic. We were giving Molly a hard time just a minute ago because her Detroit Tigers, they're trying to get damaged goods by hitting Suarez last night. That was kind of like really, really bad.
It'll be cheaper.
Yeah, it was going to be bad for my fantasy team too. But no, I don't like the strategy. What's going on there?
I don't know. You guys were acting like I'm the one that hit him.
I felt like you did.
Wait a second. Isn't the Tigers manager a former manager that may have been tied to some other allegations?
I think they're trying to get a damaged product. That's what I think. I think they're trying to make it like, hey man, he's got a broke hand. Like we're going to give him like a single A guy in minor leagues for Suarez.
Is that the best place to go? Top of the hand for a guy that produces a lot of power?
No, not usual.
Do you go? Where would be the best place that you could get him for damaged goods price, but he's back in like a week and a half?
I would probably
just concussion.
No. Maybe just hit him in the buttocks.
In the buttocks?
Yeah.
I just think A.J. Hinch is the most evil person in professional sports right now. So.
By the way, Molly, I picked up Chris Paddock. You guys picked him up.
Yeah.
Which I found very interesting. That you have teams from the same division that are dealing folks, but.
Congratulations on your Braves last night. Did you watch?
It was great. I watched the highlight. I saw the 468-foot home run, but other than that, no, I'm not going to do that to myself.
Acuna hits a 2-run homer. Ozuna hits a 2-run homer. Austin Riley a solo shot. Man, the ball was carrying there at Royal Stadium.
Well, two of those guys will be Braves here next week. So
the Braves drew 14 walks last night. 14. That is the most in the history of the Kansas City Royals franchise. So the Braves are part of Kansas City history now.
We're part of history.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Strider goes 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, gets the win. All but tonight, my friend. Eric Fetty, 3-10 on the season, 5.22 ERA. Makes his Braves debut against Seth Lugo, who just got a new 2-year deal. He was rumored to be on the trading block for Kansas City. Instead, Kansas City signs him a new deal.
All right, so prepare the Braves fans that are still engaged in watching. What can we expect with Mr. Fetty? Not the cheese, the pitcher.
If he goes 3, you'll be fortunate.
3 innings?
Yes, 3 innings.
Okay. You're not selling a whole lot, but I guess there's a reason why you guys didn't want him anymore.
I mean, we had to send him on his way.
So 3. If we get 3 solid innings, that's a plus for the Braves tonight.
I'm just going to pull up his most recent stats.
Does Charlie Culberson still pitch? Can we bring him out of retirement?
Well, who was the guy that you guys were throwing in these blowout games? Who's got like an ERA of like 4? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, there's been so many pitchers. You're not talking about Mint Wentz, right?
All right, so
I know you're talking about. I just can't call his name right now.
All right, so let's just recap here, shall we? Okay, so on July the 22nd against Colorado, that was his last start for the Cardinals. He went 3 innings. Gave up 6 runs, 2 home runs. Then he pitched against the Braves.
Was that in Denver?
That was in Denver.
Okay, I'll give the altitude a little credit.
Then he pitched against the Braves.
Remember
that. He threw 4 2/3 innings. The start before that, it was against the Chicago Cubs. He went 1.1 innings. Then the week before that, he threw against Pittsburgh, went 5 innings. The week before that against Chicago, he went 3.2 innings.
Okay, I get your point.
He's given up earned run-wise in his last 5 starts. He's given up a total of 26 runs.
Okay.
He has an ERA of 18 over the course of the last 2 starts.
All right.
And he's your problem now.
Well, you know what? He passed his physical.
He did.
He has a pulse, and he throws over 80 miles an hour. Throw
He
him out there.
He checks all those boxes.
Yeah.
And you
all
can
right.
play the over tonight.
Yeah. Well, the Braves, look, be careful how you do that because the Braves scoring 10 runs last night, they will score 2 over the next 3 games. So
right now the over is 9.5, and the Braves are an underdog plus 1.5. Braves on the money line plus 109.
look, guys, we're not going to get swept, and that's the good
That's
news.
true. You will not.
No.
That's good.
So cheers.
Still quiet on the trade front as far as the Braves go.
I think we're going to get – if we get anything else, it's going to be more like the Fetties of the world.
Hey,
Guys,
don't forget
everybody's
Carlos
just kinda
Carrasco,
forgotten.
man. Come on.
Yeah, Carlos Carrasco. I forgot. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of activity out of the Atlanta Braves. It will be interesting to see where a guy like Marcell Ozuna lands.
The rumor is, according to Vegas, it's Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit. You guys
And
are
now
loading
that
up. This is the big one.
Now that
I know.
Detroit hurt Suarez,
Well, you break it, you buy it, so.
I guess so. Coming up later on the show, typically Mike Griffith joins the program about this time each and every week. He's going to join us in the 1 o'clock hour. He's traveling today. We were communicating earlier this morning. He'll be in an airport, then he's flying somewhere. I'm not sure if he's going on a cruise, what the deal is with Mike. But Mike will be on today, but it will be in the 1 o'clock hour. Coming up at 11, Nathan King from Auburn Undercover. He's going to join the program as we will talk to him about practice opening up tomorrow, 9:50. Auburn will be on the practice field. Hugh Freeze will meet with the media at 9 a.m. At 12 noon today, we're going to talk to Steve Wiltfong from On3, the National Recruiting Coordinator for On3. We'll get the very latest of where things stand for Alabama and Auburn. And then, as I mentioned, Mike Griffith in the 1 o'clock hour. So that's what we got on tap, including BB showing up today with some banana pudding. Like, how much do you think she will bring?
I would think that it'd be like a casserole dish
Okay.
size. But knowing BB, she'll probably bring 2.
And Molly's got some special dietary concerns that she's having to deal with. So she's bringing you, what, gluten-free chocolate cake or something? What's she bringing?
Gluten-free, flourless, eggless.
Are you one of those?
Yes.
Are you really?
No, she's not.
Oh gosh.
No, I'm not.
I said one of those like it's a horrible thing. Sorry if you deal with that, but I didn't know that. Okay, well, good.
Did you get any nasty text messages about the things that you were saying yesterday about Dave Aranda's speech?
No, I didn't. I did play his speech for several people that had not heard it.
And what was their impression?
Their impression was my impression that it's not a socially acceptable term anymore.
Even Leanne asked me last night, hey, so I was
But 2 of them wanted to watch Wolf of Wall Street after that. Go figure.
My
Last
wife
night-
got a big kick out of that clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife, she was between patients yesterday, and she was like, I went to my desk and tuned into the show, and what was that? Of course, you know the first thing my wife's worried about
Yeah.
is she knows I'm kind of a loose cannon sometimes,
Yeah.
and she was like worried about paying our mortgage, like I was going to say something that'd get us all in trouble or
Yeah.
get me in trouble.
Yeah.
And I said, no, it was Conrad.
Of course,
Conrad's,
yeah.
Conrad's young. I don't want anything to happen to Paige. So my wife cared more about what was going to happen potentially to Paige, not you, Conrad.
Well, that's good. I'm glad someone's looking out for my wife because that wasn't me yesterday.
I did have a conversation with Dorothy. I said, look, if things go south for Conrad, what would we be willing to do to sustain
Like
he
an
and-
extra
he
room
and
at the
Paige?
house?
Well, that was thrown out.
Hey, I've got 2 right now at my house.
Perfect.
I've got 2 wide open.
Sweet.
We're
So I can have a
we are-
bidding war. Do I want to live with Pat or Landrum?
We are completely empty nesters.
No, you want to live with Pat.
You want the moat.
You want to live with Pat.
Can I use the 0 turn if I live with you, Pat?
Absolutely.
Ooh, that's a pretty good selling point right there.
Conrad, you're so stupid. Pat's going to have you doing all of that work.
Well, I got to pay my rent somehow.
You saw me at the Christmas party.
He was parking cars.
I went in there doing the small bites with you guys as you were toasting it up and hanging a stocking by the chimney with care. No, I'm parking a Buick.
That was Molly's Buick, wasn't it?
It was.
It was my Buick.
She's a big Buick driver.
Yeah. Yeah, but the Dave Aranda comments, yeah, it was I think the initial reaction and the impression that we got was the correct one. Well, at least the one I got, not Conrad.
Yeah.
You never know with me.
We'll see what kind of comments he has leading. Apparently, Aranda has not gone that far off the reservation, so to speak, but he has definitely said some things at some press conferences that made people go, "Oh, interesting." Not know the angle he was going there, but
yeah,
a bit interesting. Not Mike Leach-esque,
right?
But still a little bit off the beaten path. Not a Kalen DeBoer, Hugh Freeze type press conference.
I was going to compare it because, and he's a different guy, and I really like Dave Aranda, but listening to that clip is almost like, is there something else going on? Did we catch him like after a concert or on a Saturday at the lake? It's kind of bizarre.
Yeah, just some interesting comments from Dave Aranda, but it is talking season, and most teams will be on the practice field starting this week, including Baylor. So we'll see if he has anything to add after last week's infamous speech he gave to the Texas High School Coaches Association. We're just 25 days away from kickoff, and Iowa State and Kansas State playing over in Dublin, Ireland. That's going to really be the first game of the season. That's an 11 o'clock kickoff on that Saturday, so that should be a lot of fun. And as we get everything rocking and rolling. A little bit of news yesterday out of the state of Florida that DJ Lagway, and I know that our good friend Gator Dave Waters, he was on with Mac and Cube this morning, and he's dealing with a leg injury. Not David Waters, but DJ Lagway. He's been in a walking boot and has been reported as a minor calf issue. And just it goes without saying that any kind of injury to Lagway is not ideal after being limited in the spring. So we'll see if that kind of lingers for the Florida quarterback.
Well, if there was ever a quarterback, and there's several cases of this in the SEC, but especially with that Florida team, with that schedule and all that Billy Napier has riding on this season, not saying he's on the hot seat, but you can get there quickly in the SEC. As we know, DJ Lagway, not having him, with the weapons they put around him, that certainly changes things in the outlook if he's not available for
question
for the majority of the regular season. That changes things. Look how it changed things last year when he got injured in a game.
Sure did. I mean, they were literally having the potential of upsetting Georgia and Jacksonville, and all the momentum went out the door. Well, our Twin Peaks poll question of the day, Molly, has to do with overrated players or overhyped players in the SEC. Now, Lagway did not make the list of 4, but give everyone an opportunity to go vote if they have not already.
Yeah, so the 4 that we gave you were Garrett Nussmeier, Lenore Sellers, Arch Manning, and John Mateer. And right now winning with almost half of the votes is Arch Manning. He's at 46.7. Garrett Nussmeier is next with 22.2. And then we have a tie. Lenore Sellers and John Mateer are tied with about 15%.
I know nobody's raised this question, but I will. What if Arch Manning comes out and he just sucks?
That's a problem. Keep in mind they've got, 4 of their 5 offensive linemen, Conrad, are being replaced?
Yeah, they've got a lot of question marks surrounding him. They've got obviously a very high ceiling, but a lot of question marks.
And look, I'm not saying he's going to. It's just it's a foregone conclusion. He's the number 1 quarterback in the conference. A foregone conclusion with most that Texas is going to be your SEC champion, and we're just assuming with the offensive line and the replacement of those guys, Pat, that Arch Manning's just going to come in and he's going to light it on fire against these SEC defenses.
Well, so what's so interesting is that so many times when you're talking about Alabama or Auburn and you got to replace 2 offensive linemen or 3 offensive linemen, a new center, whatever the case may be, everyone raises question. Well, that's the biggest question I have about Alabama and Auburn is, whatever year it is, the offensive line replacement. Now, all of a sudden, Texas is replacing 4 of their 5 offensive linemen, and that's not going to be an issue. I don't care who you have back there at quarterback. That's something to keep your eye on. So, very interesting. But, yeah, you can go vote which SEC player has been overhyped the most this preseason. Doesn't mean that they're not going to have a great year. It just means which one has been to the point to where you're just sick of seeing their name. And right now, Arch Manning is that person.
Well, for the people who have question marks about Ty Simpson and Jackson Arnold, that's fair, and you can name some other quarterbacks. But I will remind our listeners, because you probably don't have it pulled up, but Arch Manning, he's thrown a total of 95 passes in his collegiate career. How many has Ty Simpson thrown? Maybe it's not 95, but I just thought I'd bring it up.
So interesting that I was watching a podcast last night. Mac Brown and Vince Young, they're doing a podcast now. And he actually said that Arch Manning reminds him of Vince Young. When Vince Young was that age, and the way that Vince Young was very calculated. He was a good listener. He was a great player to be able to coach because he took constructive criticism, and he says he sees the same thing in Arch.
Yeah, I'm not going to be the one that predicts that Arch Manning's going to be a bust and not going to be really good. I actually think he is. But you got a lot riding on a ton of quarterbacks in the SEC, whether it's South Carolina and Lenora Sellers. We've seen what Lenora Sellers can do. Ty Simpson, Jackson Arnold, the Nussmeier, you feel pretty good about that one. Gunnar Stockton, what does that look like at Georgia? And the list goes on and on. Is Reed taking the next step at Texas A&M? Mention the injury to Lagway. Oklahoma, Mateer, you feel pretty good about that. What does that offense look like playing week in, week out in this conference? I'm excited. I'm ready for it. Not that I wasn't at SEC Media Days to get me there, but it feels like it's really it's here.
Yeah.
Does it not for you guys?
Absolutely.
Now, the 97-degree weather and the excessive heat warnings.
That's problematic at times.
Yeah, let's get down into the 80s at least.
Yeah. We are live at Social Taco. The doors are going to open up at 11 o'clock. Come on by and see us. Should be a nice crowd on hand today. I know the weather outside is it's yucky. It's hot. It's steamy. It's miserable, but it feels great in here. Wonderful food. Take an extended lunch. Hang out with us here at Social Taco.
Yeah, I made breakfast in my driveway this morning.
Did you really?
Yeah, fried an egg right there.
Yeah, don't
Top
doubt
of the hood.
This is three-man front on Jox. When we come back, a member of the media, he has already downloaded the new EA Sports game and has played the entire Alabama season out. Conrad is not going to be too happy. We'll give you the results next. It is 10:21 on Jox. Welcome back. This is Three Man Front. We are live at Social Taco. Officer Walt is here guarding the premises. We're expecting a big crowd, making sure that the fire marshal is happy. Everyone in Homewood is good to go. So Walt is here.
I saw where they were cutting some concrete outside. Did you see that?
I did see that. What's that
With
about?
the big 14-inch concrete blade. Are they done? I was going to call Walt because they were not using the vacuum to contain all of that
All the
dust,
dust?
that
All
has
the
all the
particles?
carcinogens in it. I was going to see if he'd tase one of them.
Molly asked Walt if he was protecting the streets or the streets were protecting him.
Is there Walt, is there taser training? Do you have to take the taser so you know? Ooh, that stinks.
Yep.
Mm.
And if you think that we're just making this up, I mean, Officer Walt is here. I mean, he's in full regalia. I mean,
Yeah, he is.
yeah,
Look how many different things he's got there.
that's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Molly is just Molly's scared. Look at her.
No, I'm not scared.
Yeah, you are scared.
looking
We
at
can tell
everything.
with what you're doing with your thumbs. You're getting nervous. That's
Yeah.
that's your tell.
It's my nervous
That's your
tick.
tell right there. Is that body cam right there? Can
Yeah.
you, is it on right now? Oh,
No.
I was gonna wave to everybody. Wave at everybody at the precinct. Hey, how's it going?
Well, the Alabama heat and humidity can be brutal, but don't let it affect your home and family. Keep them comfortable with an affordable Train cooling system. They've been recognized as America's most trusted brand for 11 consecutive years, and they're the official cooling partner here at Jox. So go and find a comfort specialist near you at train.com.
All right, so Colin Gay, who works for the Tuscaloosa News, he's got an article out just a few moments ago in which he is able to go download EA Sports College Football 26, and he played out the Alabama football season in simulation. And so I'm just going to give you the results. Have you seen this, Conrad, what the results are?
No, I have not. I'll be surprised just like everyone else.
All right, here we go. So basically, the results of the season, Alabama was firmly in the college football playoff conversation, so that's good, Conrad. It says here the Crimson Tide won each of its first 7 games. For each close victory against Florida State and Wisconsin, there was a home drubbing of Vanderbilt and Tennessee.
That's what I'm talking about.
And Alabama's 33-17 road win against top 10 Georgia
What? 33-17?
put the Crimson Tide at number 4 nationally.
Riding high.
A top 10 4-point road loss to Heisman Trophy-winning quarterback Lenora Sellers in South Carolina didn't tank the Crimson Tide by itself. That would come later.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
From the Crimson Tide's second off week onward, the wheels came off. Hosting 4-loss LSU, Alabama suffered a 13-point defeat in which the defense allowed 44 points and 20 unanswered in the fourth quarter
Goodness.
against LSU.
Nussmeier, have you a game?
Hosting 4-loss Oklahoma, Alabama suffered a 17-point loss in which the Crimson Tide offense had 22 first downs but only 7 points. And after a cakewalk win against Eastern Illinois, Alabama, fresh back into the top 25, was stomped by number 4 Auburn 38-17, which would be the Crimson Tide's worst Iron Bowl loss since the Bear Bryant era.
Number 4, Auburn?
Can we just say that
Wow.
if this happened,
are you kidding me? If this happens,
are we discussing who does Alabama go get?
Conrad's holding some type of garage sale out here in front of Social Taco, trying to sell some clothes to raise money to get Kalen DeBoer out of Tuscaloosa. But it gets better. So after missing the college football playoff for the second straight season, unranked Alabama, which held a 17-3 first-half lead, fell to number 16 Arizona,
Oh, my God.
27-24 in the Texas Bowl.
Oh.
So in
Conrad,
this scenario, Alabama, they're 9-4? Is that what we got there? Just like this past year?
What does this do to their recruiting class? Does it say
That's
that?
a great question, Landon. That is a great question.
Okay, so they win their first 7 games.
Yep. Then you lost to South Carolina. You
lose
lost to
South
Oklahoma,
Carolina,
and you lost to
lose to
Auburn.
LSU.
Oh, and LSU. Okay, so you're 8-5 then. Oh man, yeah, no, that would be pretty bad. Sounds like this dude is not very good at video games, though.
All right, here's Ty Simpson's stats. Finishes with 4,179 passing yards,
Okay.
which would be the most by an Alabama quarterback since 2021 and third most in school history. 32 touchdown passes and 10 interceptions. Simpson also added 89 carries for 70 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, if Ty Simpson has that stat line in real life, Alabama's in the college football playoff.
I think he's throwing too much in that scenario.
think
Jan
so?
Miller goes a 1,000-yard rusher for Alabama.
Okay.
Finishes the season with 1,065 rushing yards and 22 touchdowns.
And they're going to lose 4
Wow.
games?
They're going to lose 5 games.
5 games.
Well, 5
games,
including the
Conrad.
bowl game, yeah.
Yeah.
He eclipsed 100 yards 3 times, including a 103-yard performance against Vanderbilt. Miller's going to finish the year as 3rd place in the Doak Walker Award. All right, what about Ryan Williams? According to this simulation,
What, he tear his ACL in the second game or something?
He opted out midseason.
He opted out? Okay.
the sophomore had 90 receptions, 4th most in a single Alabama season, and 1,261 receiving yards, which is 5th most. Williams had 11 touchdowns, including multi-touchdown games against LSU. Was that Eastern Illinois, and Arizona?
Man, that'd be a brutal season. I don't even know if I guess I hadn't let my mind go down that path. That's like worst case scenario for Alabama.
Says that Caden Proctor was the only Alabama football player to leave as a first-round draft pick.
Okay, so not getting to the 15 draft picks that Brett Ciancia was telling us about yesterday.
Correct. Now, this is what EA Sports is simulating based on Colin Gay, who writes for the Tuscaloosa News, who played out through simulation the
If we've
Alabama
learned
football
anything,
season.
I mean, since last season, EA Sports is the authority when it comes to all of these lists.
And of course,
Stadiums, best coaches.
of all these things that I said, FSU Dave's already texted in, and he says, "Oh, a close loss to Alabama, which means I win the bet against Conrad."
That's right.
Hey, I'm glad that's what what matters most.
I'm trying to see what else. They had 2 freshman All-SEC team members, the punter
Woo!
and right guard Michael Carroll.
Freshman?
Oh my gosh. I want you to read this, Landrum,
Yeah.
right here. Read that.
After the 2025 season, but before Alabama's bowl loss, DeBoer was offered head coaching jobs at Nebraska, UCLA, Utah, Wisconsin, BYU, Cal, Iowa State, and Miami of Ohio.
That is quite Nebraska. So he's implying that we're going to fire.
Read that one. Read that one.
The 2026 College Football National Championship game,
Nebraska.
Miami over Georgia.
For the national championship.
I love it.
Wow.
That's
That
incredible.
is
Conrad.
quite a simulation.
Hey, but
I think Conrad just passed out.
some of the big takeaways. Hey, Auburn fans, you're going to the college football playoff.
Yep, they sure are based on this.
Let's not even play the season now. We're done. We're good.
It's over.
You were a top 4 team that beat Alabama, beat the brakes off Alabama at Jordan Hare.
Let me ask you a question. If Alabama goes 8-5, does Kalen DeBoer even get an offer at Miami of Ohio?
How
Yeah,
fitting
that'd
would
probably
that
be the
be?
best offer he would have.
How fitting would that be? You think Chuck Martin changes the keyboard on his on
Chuck Martin is
rearranges
fired.
all the keyboard letters on his computer there in his desk?
So which would sting worse, the worst loss since the Bear Bryant era to Auburn, or losing to a 4-loss LSU and a 4-loss Oklahoma team at home?
Oh, that's well. I mean, in this scenario, I think it would be the losing to 2 4-loss teams because apparently Auburn would be one of the best teams in the country. So I mean, it would
Or-
sting, but
Or that loss at Williams-Brice at night in Columbia, South Carolina, and Shane Beamer gets carried off the field and he's got his shirt off doing his best Eric Musselman.
You know what? I hope for Coach Beamer that he gets that opportunity. No, it would be the Oklahoma one especially, man. That would not sit right with a lot of people.
So let me ask you this, and because I just don't know enough about it. So when you download the new version of the game, so basically you could do the same thing that Colin did from the Tuscaloosa News, right?
Yeah, so if he, what I'm assuming he did is you can, essentially, you don't even play the game. You just click a button and it will simulate.
Play out the season?
Yes,
Okay.
for every team. And so obviously, right, you could do it this time, they go 8-5. You could do it again and Alabama could be, 4-8 or something. And then you do it a third time, they'd be undefeated and win the national championship. So yeah, it is completely random. I don't know what the algorithm is within the game of how they decide that stuff, but yeah, it's a complete random simulation.
Yeah, the one thing he did say at the beginning of his article, he says he downloaded the game, he switched the quarter length to 15 minutes. I guess on the game it's 12 minutes.
Well, normally when you play, it's 5 minutes because
It's
if you
5 minutes?
well, if you play a 15-minute, that's like a 3-hour game.
Okay.
That's a long time to be playing one video game, or like one game within the video game. So yeah, it's like
Gotcha.
normally 5 or 6 minute quarters when you're actually playing.
Okay. He said he switched the quarter length to 15 minutes, and then obviously let the video game version and Kalen DeBoer do the rest.
Any mention of alternate jerseys at any point? Because we're going to have to blame it on something.
Man, you win your first 7 games, close wins against Florida State on the road, close win at home against Wisconsin.
Yep.
Georgia.
Conrad's,
But you beat Georgia good. Was
Conrad
it like
comes in the
34-17?
building. He's
Yeah.
peacocking. He's feeling good about it. And then, wham! Heart crushed.
Man.
I will say somebody did tell me that in this year's version of the game, they do have Kalen DeBoer on the sideline in the the athletic wear hoodie.
Oh.
So we can blame it on that, Landrum.
I'm being serious because I know they have all kinds of different features with this game now. Do they have it where fans rush the field and they're taken down by security or law enforcement?
No, that is not. That is not. a part of it.
That is something I would pay for. Pat would too,
Yeah, no doubt.
for sure.
When we come back on three-man front, an Alabama opponent apparently has closed all practices, nothing to the media. Wonder which opponent it is. It's a non-SEC team. Yeah,
Most paranoid coach in college football. Maybe.
perhaps. I'll tell you who it is next on three-man front. This is Three-Man Front live at Social Taco. Come on by and see us. Doors will open up at 11 o'clock. We'll be here until 2 o'clock. The Taco Terrace. BB is supposed to be bringing some banana pudding for the masses. Not really sure how much she made.
The mass is not including us.
Correct, because you don't eat sweets.
I'm waiting on my shepherd's pie from Dave.
Yeah, I'm not a banana pudding guy, and she's not a banana pudding girl, Molly.
No, I'm not.
So hopefully there will be something.
Do you like any kind of pudding?
Yeah.
Chocolate?
Yeah.
Vanilla?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. Water can find its way into any crawl space, bringing dangerous mold, mildew, and wood rot into your home, but APS can protect your home's foundation and provide valuable storage space as well. The APS crawl space encapsulation system, it can stop water, keep pests out, while lowering your energy costs. The engineers at APS, they can help you today. Simply call them at 205-951-9717 or go to their website, alabamaprofessional.com. All right, so we teased it going into the break, but there is an Alabama opponent, not an SEC opponent, that has decided to close the practice for all media. Would you like to take a guess who it is, Landrum?
Gus Malzahn, Florida State.
Mike Norvell in Florida State has said, nope, no media during fall camp will be permitted to watch anything we do on the practice field. Nothing. Zero. I know this isn't groundbreaking news based on the fact that the number of teams that we cover in the Southeastern Conference, that they basically do not allow that to happen, or schools will give you about 10 minutes to watch them do calisthenics. But then that became a problem at Alabama under Nick Saban towards the end, because what was happening is that those little videos would go out from members of the media, and then, seriously, you would have parents that would watch the video and notice that my kid's not out there practicing, he's dinged up, and then they would post stuff on social media. So it was basically disclosing the fact that certain players at Alabama's practices were not participating because they were injured. And so that's when Alabama under Nick Saban decided, hey, we just need to shut the whole thing down. So that's when Alabama media stopped getting those 10 minutes of calisthenics or going through the first drills, that kind of thing. So Florida State has now joined the masses with everybody else, not allowing media to watch anything.
Well, one of the craziest stories I heard, and a lot of coaches are paranoid, but Gus Malzahn is notorious for being paranoid. And in his time at Auburn, the 2013 BCS National Championship game out in Pasadena, practices leading up to that, they had contracted off-duty sheriff's deputies and folks to be on dirt bikes in the woods, on the top of parking decks, just to make sure that nobody was getting I don't know what I would be looking for necessarily. I guess a coach who does that. But we've got stories here locally of folks setting up on top of grocery stores.
Absolutely. It's infamous. Before UAB built their new practice facility, there was an in-state school that UAB was getting ready to play. And across the street from the old practice field at UAB was an old grocery store. And there was some graduate assistants that had made their way to the grocery store, and they had a great vantage point of taking video of UAB's practice. So, yeah, I mean, it happens everywhere. So I guess that's why they try to maintain themselves to have a nice practice field and have things up on the fencing.
But if you're Kane Womack, you got a pretty good idea of what Gus Malzahn does, right?
Gonna guess they're gonna run the ball a lot.
Gonna run the ball a lot. Castellanos, he's gonna be featured in a lot of quarterback design runs. You're gonna have that read option. You're gonna have that zone run, but as far as the passing elements, I don't know how much the passing tree has grown for Gus Malzahn since he left Auburn, but
how many trick plays do we get from Florida State on offense in that game? Over, under 1.5?
Oh, over.
I'm thinking we get 3.
Over.
I'm thinking 3.
Well, you call them trick plays, but they're going to be Gus Malzahn plays that we've seen in the past.
Yes.
But, yeah, Conrad, I totally believe that we get at least 3.
What if the game comes down to like a 55-yard field goal attempt from Alabama? Wouldn't that be something?
Oh.
Wouldn't that be something?
Oh. How many times will you throw up before it's kicked?
55. One for every yard.
So have you got your travel itinerary yet in regards to when you guys are leaving in the Winnebago?
Dave said he was going to print that off and laminate it for all of us, give us a nice packet. So it has, kind of his do's and don'ts, pet peeves, things like that in there as well. So, yeah, I'm just waiting on FSU Dave to deliver that to my doorstep.
Does he have a closet in the Winnebago so you can put your hanging clothes?
Is he taking hanging clothes?
He said he was going to dress up. He was going to represent when he goes to Doak
That's
Campbell.
right. I got to look nice.
Well, I will say this. Conrad looked very professional in Atlanta.
Yep.
Except that one night when we went out and he wore those goofy shoes and he got made fun of.
Yeah. And it wasn't even us making fun of it.
No, it wasn't us, Molly.
He wore these shoes.
We don't even talk about it.
He wore those
the other ones.
Was it Ty?
Yeah, it was Ty.
So why are you wearing Crocs?
Yeah, why are you wearing Crocs?
So, well, hang on, Ty. Let me tell you
Crocs
about
like
the
that.
let me tell you about the Yeezy Crocs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in Landrum, you saw someone you were in Orlando, and you sent us a picture of somebody wearing them down there at the parks.
It was a dad. He had 5 kids. The sun was beating down like it is outside here today. He was waiting on a ride, and I could just number one, he was trying to be a team player and be a good sport, but I could tell he was miserable. But he was wearing Yeezys, and I was like, well, at least his feet aren't miserable. So I took a picture and I sent it to you guys. Like, there's one other person that actually wears Yeezys.
That'll be me as a dad in 20
Besides
years.
Kanye. Yeah, that was you as a dad.
But, I mean, it just wasn't just one little smart aleck comment about his shoes. I mean,
No,
that
it
went on
continued
like
for
blocks.
3 city blocks.
Yeah, it went on and on and on.
They're a conversation starter. It
They're
always breaks
definitely
the
a
ice.
conversation. Can you run in those things, though?
No.
Yeah. Seems like
Would
foot
not
chase,
recommend
you're going
that.
down immediately. You'd be better barefoot.
Oh, I was about to say foot chase. These things are coming off. I'm running barefoot. Yeah, no doubt about it. Good thing I don't get in foot races a lot.
Conrad, shoes can be deceiving sometimes, especially that kind of shoe, like flip-flops or a Birkenstock or a Yeezy. It appears those Yeezys are too big for your foot.
Yeah, they're an interesting shape. I have a narrow heel, Landrum. Thank you for bringing it up.
It's almost like you wet set your feet in little concrete blocks.
I just looked
Yeah.
up the price of that shoe. I'm appalled.
What, the Yeezys?
Yes.
Oh, you're just figuring this out? Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Paige paid good money for those shoes.
She did.
And I
Because
wear them
Conrad
every
wanted
day.
What do they go for now, Molly?
like
$100.
$100.
Oh, that's
There's more than that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's
like a
cheap.
used pair.
Yeah.
That's
that's like
Conrad
retail
after
value.
Alabama-Tennessee
Oh,
game
man.
pair.
The one that he's wearing is like 200 something, right?
They're signed by
something
Kanye.
like that. Molly, my first pair, because I have like 3 or 4 pairs of them. My first pair, I'm not proud of this. I paid $450 for it. Now they were the tennis shoes, not the Crocs. But yeah, that's the most I've ever paid for shoes.
I don't even think I have a $400 pair of shoes.
You don't?
I don't think so.
I can't wear them anymore because I've had them for so long. Paige said they smell bad, so I have to. I can't wear them anymore.
I've got some boots that were $400 or $500, but I mean, of course, I got a deal on them.
Yeah.
I'm not going
Actually,
to pay that.
boots.
I didn't pay that for them.
But I got them on sale, yeah.
I did some trade stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember when you got
Got a
was
belt
it
buckle,
ostrich?
too.
Was it ostrich?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. Well, one thing's for sure, Artec Tractor, if Conrad needs to move in after Paige kicks him out, I will put him on my Artec Tractor Zero Turn from Toro, Cub Cadet, Gravely, Bobcat, Spartan, residential to commercial grade lawnmowers, more brands and better selection than the big box stores. I got a box store less than 5 minutes from my house, but I called Jeremy and Greg up at Artec Tractor and I said, look, I need a zero turn and I trust you guys because this is what you guys do every single day and you're successful doing it. What do you recommend? They gave me a recommendation. They said, hey, go to artectractor.com, take a look at what we have, see if anything kind of floats your boat, something that you like, something that will work out, and then we can give you some detailed recommendations in regards to your property. So whether it's a tractor brand that you need, Mahindra or Bobcat, everything from large home acreage, small homesteads to large farms, hunting plots, they can take care of you. So go by and see them. It's just north of Jasper on Highway 5, real easy to get to. Just go to their website, artectractor.com.
You can come and join us right here at Social Taco. The door's opening 15 minutes from right now. We're in the square next to City Hall in Homewood. We got the Taco Tuesday, the combination, mix and match, $4 tacos all day long. The Mexican pizzas are outstanding. Burritos, you want to go with a burrito bowl, you can do that. And don't forget about the chicken feathers, which are delicious. You got to try them, but you're going to agree for sure. SocialTaco.bar for more information. Nathan King coming up at the top of the hour. We're going to ask him not only about Auburn, and maybe is this the best roster that Auburn's seen since when, but also what's the status of Malcolm Simmons? It's eerily quiet, Pat.
It sure is. And we'll also talk about what our neighbor is predicting. Remember one of our neighbors up in Atlanta at SEC Media Days? We had J.D. Piquel on one side. The other neighbor around the corner was Brett Norsworthy. J.D. Piquel has given his conference championship winners. We'll see if he's going all in on LSU. Remember, that's what he told us on the show. We'll get into that next on Three Man Front. It's 10:52. We'll talk to Nathan King from Auburn Undercover coming up in just a couple minutes. Get his thoughts as the Auburn Tigers be on the practice field beginning tomorrow at 9:50. The Alabama Crimson Tide, they're going to be on the practice field beginning at 11 o'clock. So they will get acclimated as they will be in this just absolutely oppressive heat. I know most of them will probably work some inside and outside. We just mentioned that our friend of our program, J.D. Piquel, he was our neighbor over in Atlanta at SEC Football Media Days. He was going all in on LSU with us. And he went on the Paul Feinbaum show, and basically he used his material on our show. I guess we're kind of the warm-up act. Then he went on the main stage with Paul.
We were the test group.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It tested well.
I
guess your reaction and my reaction. So he went on Feinbaum and said he was all about LSU. And so this morning he is predicting LSU to win the Southeastern Conference Championship by beating the Texas Longhorns in Atlanta. In the Big Ten, he's got Ohio State beating Oregon. In the Big 12, Baylor beats TCU for the Big 12 championship.
Well,
Wow.
ACC, he's got Clemson defeating Miami. So, man, first it was the EA Sports simulation from the Tuscaloosa News saying that Miami was going to beat Georgia. Georgia. No, it was Georgia beating, or was it Miami beating Georgia for the national championship?
I don't know if we
was-
had the winner, but they were playing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Miami over Georgia, I think.
I think that's right. Let me double check that.
Yeah, but Baylor winning the Big 12? That'd be no small
Yes,
feat.
Miami wins the national championship over Georgia, according to this simulation. So, a lot of love for the Miami Hurricanes and Carson Beck.
Carson Beck, he'll own Coral Gables. Then the Cavender will come back to him.
I was about to say maybe he'll be reunited with his long-lost love.
Now, one of the Cavenders is getting married.
Yes, to Ferguson, the Cowboys tight end.
Tied in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They both have undergone surgery
Has
here
it-
lately. I hope they're okay.
I was about to say, was that a wedding present, you think, Pat?
How?
Instead of his and hers, hers and hers?
What's recovery time? Are they going to be able to play next year?
I mean, based on the TikToks that Molly showed me, it looks like that they're like out and about.
I showed you TikToks?
Hmm?
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
It says recovery time is 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay.
They're fine.
No, they're already out and about.
What? What are you talking about?
The Cavenders.
Oh.
Well, that too.
I can only imagine the looks that Molly's giving y'all right now.
She's just shaking her head.
Yeah, she's shaking her head.
Very quick recovery time. It was like 24 hours later, they were already making their TikToks again.
Nathan King, Auburn Undercover. What's the latest on Auburn wide receiver Malcolm Simmons? And we'll get Nathan's final prediction. Does Auburn go to a college football playoff?
It is 11 o'clock. Welcome back. It is hour number 2 of three-man front. The doors are open here at Social Taco. Come on by and see us. We'll be here until 2 o'clock. It is a Taco Tuesday. As always, we're in our customary spot located on the Taco Terrace on the second level here at Social Taco in Homewood. Officer Walt is here. Gringo just showed up. I know Don Beebe, who's bringing banana pudding later, she's going to be here. So it'll be a fun time. So come on by and see us here at Social Taco. Joining us now on the Higginbotham Hotline as the Auburn Tigers get ready to take the practice field tomorrow morning there on the Plains. Nathan King from Auburn Undercover joins us. Nathan, I hope the summer has gone well so far for you.
Yeah, it has. Hope the same for you guys, and looking forward to talking and writing about some actual football instead of doing a bunch of guesswork.
There's no doubt about that. We're like you. We are tired of talking about the house settlement and NIL transfer portal. We're actually ready to talk some X's and O's. But before we actually talk X's and O's, I just have to ask you, because there's not been much from the Auburn contingency, is there an update or do you have any indication on Malcolm Simmons, on his availability once practice starts tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, there's been no official update from Auburn since this all got underway. Obviously, he's got a court date coming up in August. We'll see what happens tomorrow. You know, definitely don't want to speculate either way. I guess I would say I wouldn't be surprised if he is available, only because those legal proceedings are still going on. You know, it's nothing has necessarily been set in stone in terms of a status for him, and so we'll see what happens tomorrow. Of course, we'll know the players reported today, and so that necessarily doesn't mean anything. You know, like you look at the Jarquez Hunter situation a couple years ago, he was around the team, but he was suspended for a few days of actual practice getting on the field, and so we'll see if it's something comparable like that for Malcolm Simmons. Obviously, we'll talk to Hugh Freeze tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Time, so should have a concrete answer on that pretty quickly tomorrow.
Nathan, let's just play it out that Malcolm Simmons is not available this season. Who is the next guy up, and how much does this impact Auburn's offense?
Yeah, any amount of time that Malcolm Simmons would miss is impactful. Starting receiver, he's part of this group that makes you say Auburn has one of the best receiving corps in the SEC. It's their strongest position group on the team. In terms of who would step up, the first name I would point to is Horatio Fields, the Wake Forest transfer. He's actually the leader of this room in terms of, like, you know, vocal guy, in terms of the guy in the locker room. That was apparent all the way back to the spring, and a couple productive seasons for him at Wake Forest. Nothing too crazy, but he's a versatile player. You know, 6'1", 210, can play on the outside, can play on the inside. I would expect him to be the next man up in terms of if Malcolm Simmons were to be unavailable, but you know, it would be a group effort. Perry Thompson's name is one that obviously is going to continue to pop. He's somebody I've talked about a ton this preseason because he just checks a lot of boxes. He's somebody who could be a breakout player. He's somebody that the coaching staff is going to be watching closely. He's somebody who still needs to develop. He's somebody who has had a full off season under his belt, and so his ceiling is so high. He's a former top 50 recruit, and so if he starts to pop, if he starts to you know fill out and develop and get more comfortable, he could be a really good player. And then a name under the radar, as we're just sitting here talking about receivers. Actually, it's not under the radar, but a guy who kind of came out of nowhere in the spring is Sam Turner. He's a 3-star freshman, a former Georgia Tech flip from the Atlanta area. Guy who just popped. He was just buzzing all throughout the spring, making a ton of great catches. I truly believe he has an opportunity to be Cam Coleman's backup on the outside, a true freshman. And so for a true freshman to break into this receiver rotation that is so good, I think it says a lot about what Sam Turner's been able to do so far. But, yeah, I mean, it would be first on somebody like Horatio Fields because he is an experienced transfer. But for any amount of time that Malcolm Simmons would miss, they'd look to a handful of guys to try to step up. And Perry Thompson would be in the mix as well because he's able to do so much with the ball in his hands.
Nathan, in regards to the let's stay on the offensive side of the ball. Let's talk about the offensive line. We saw Connor Liu over in Atlanta. He's an all-SEC center. Talk about the rest of that offensive line because last year they were able to run the football. Pass protection was another issue, but just your overall thoughts on that unit coming into the fall camp.
Yeah, it's pretty solidified. I don't necessarily expect position battles there unless they try out some different combinations. At left tackle, they're as strong looking at tackle as they've been in several seasons. Now, that comes with the caveat that these are two new players to the program. Virginia Tech transfer Xavier Chaplin. Everybody heard in the offseason about the NFL potential that he has. NFL scouts coming around and saying he's somebody who could be a mid-round draft pick with a good season. And then on the other side, Mason Murphy doesn't have as much of that type of cachet, but still a 2-year starter at a Power 4 program at USC. And so both of those things you like you mentioned pass protection. They did struggle in a big way last season protecting the quarterback. You bring in two, strong caliber offensive tackles. That's probably a good way to solve that. Dylan Wade is going to be at left guard. He's played left tackle for Auburn the last 2 seasons simply out of necessity. That's not his position he should be at, but they've just had to move him there for one reason or another. You mentioned Connor Liu, and then Jeremiah Wright, the 6th-year senior, is going to be at right guard, a guy who I think maybe has an NFL future if he's able to start to put some things together. He's a really good run blocker, just an absolute mauler in the run game, but if he gets a little bit more fundamental as a pass protector, I just think this group is really potent overall, because you got a swing tackle in Xavier Miller, who's probably your backup at left or right. You've got a sophomore in DeAndre Carter, who is a really, really high-ceiling player, did a lot of things in practice last year. You've got a backup center in Cale Ellis, who's a true freshman. Dylan Senda, the Northwestern transfer, has been here for a while. Seth Wilfred, former #1 JUCO offensive tackle, is now working as a backup guard. And so I think they've got a nice-looking 2-deep, but it's going to come down more so to what that starting 5 is. I mean, I think it's pretty set in stone. They need to develop a good rapport. As good as they look, Xavier Chaplin did not participate in the spring. He was recovering from a leg injury, and so they need to make sure that they develop some good chemistry with Jackson Arnold, because, as you guys know, if they can make all the offensive upgrades they want, but if that group is not cohesive and playing at a high level, none of that stuff is going to matter.
Nathan, I wanted to ask you about Jackson Arnold, because heading into the last 2 seasons, the first 2 for Hugh Freeze, Peyton Thorne, he did not appear, at least on tape, on paper, to be what Jackson Arnold and his potential ceiling could be. You're around that program a lot. What is the level of comfort with Hugh Freeze, Jackson Arnold running that offense, and how good can he be with those weapons?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot right now, and that's what you want when it's in the month of July. Of course, when the bullets start flying, that's things get a little bit different. I will say, going all the way back to the spring, they were very comfortable with the way that Jackson Arnold was running things. I mean, I think when you look at the difference with him and Peyton Thorne, it's all about the talent. Look, Peyton Thorne had a lot of experience. He was a 4-time team captain between his time at Michigan State and Auburn, so a guy who was a really respected leader of that program. But I think it just came down to his physical tools maybe being lacking in comparison to a guy like Jackson Arnold, who's got 5-star arm talent. He's got better legs. He's a better athlete at quarterback, and so I think they are supremely confident in what he can do right now. The difference from spring and the fall is getting acclimated in the system. Now it's about how much you can push that ceiling. I think if they went out onto the field, in just a few weeks, they'd be okay with Jackson Arnold. They'd be fine. They'd be able to run the offense just fine. But just fine has been getting Auburn in the territory of losing seasons the last few years. Their passing game was pretty decent last year, but they couldn't convert in the red zone. They struggled on 3rd down. They struggled on 4th down. How does Auburn address those critical situations? Well, I think we can boil it down to a pretty simple answer. A lot of teams all across the country don't struggle in critical situations because they have a dynamic quarterback. Sometimes it just helps out. A guy like Jalen Milroe at Alabama was able to bail you out of situations like that because he could do a lot with his legs and with his arm, and he was just a smart quarterback. You can name any of the best quarterbacks in the country over the last few years, and so Jackson Arnold doesn't need to be one of the best quarterbacks in the country for Auburn to succeed because he has so many weapons. He can take some of that responsibility off of his shoulders, but I do think a big question mark this preseason is how can Auburn address those shortcomings from last year where Peyton Thorne's putting up 300 yards passing against Oklahoma, but they throw a pick 6 with 4 minutes left, or they miss a 30-yard field goal after a poor 3rd down play in the first half. Things like that really add up, and as you guys know, Auburn missed some of those opportunities last year. I think Jackson Arnold has the potential to be the player that bridges the gap between meddling, mediocrity, inconsistency, and hey, this team knows what it's doing every single drive. They're able to put up points on the board more consistently.
Nathan King's joining us from Auburn Undercover as we're previewing the Auburn Tigers. They're on the practice field beginning tomorrow down on the Plains. Let me ask you about the other side of the ball, DJ Durkin's defense. Last year, Auburn was 9th in the SEC in total defense, right behind Georgia and Alabama. Your thoughts on this defensive unit? A lot of young guys are going to have to step up in some big-time positions this year.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody about this over the weekend. And they were saying to me, the offense is clearly going to be better, but we'll see what happens with the defense. I'm not necessarily following that logic to a T. I'm not putting that set in stone. The offense, I think, should be better because all the pieces they have in place, but they were really good at running the ball, like you said, last year, and they were really good at racking up numbers passing the ball, but they weren't able to convert. I think this defense can be better. I see no reason why this defense can't be a little bit better for a couple reasons. Number one, second year under DJ Durkin. You look at him throughout his career, going back to Texas A&M, going back to Ole Miss, his defenses took a nice step forward in the second year in his system. It's a very complex system. It asks a lot of different players, particularly at linebacker and at safety. Those guys have a lot of responsibilities. Those are a couple freshmen I just mentioned. DeMarcus Riddick was a freshman. Now he's a sophomore. Caleb Harris was a freshman. Now he's a sophomore. And so I think those guys getting a little bit smarter, a little bit more comfortable with what DJ Durkin is asking them to do. Look, Auburn gave him that huge extension or that huge raise for a reason. They think that he can be a really good orchestrator this fall. A lot of it's going to come down to the front seven, though. I mean, as we look at this defense going into fall camp, that is where all your concerns lie, because I have very few concerns about this secondary. At cornerback, they've got a really good duo. I don't know if it's one of the best duos in the SEC, but it is. Kay and Lee and Jay Crawford played at a high level last year at times, and then they added 2 transfers to the mix as well, so you got a lot of depth there. Champ Anthony's back from his injury. I think he's going to be their starting nickel. I mentioned Caleb Harris, who's going to be the other safety. They've got 3 or 4 legitimate options to be a starting safety, including Anquan Fagans, who's a top 100 true freshman recruit that they've got on campus, who is a ball hawk in the spring. Now, for me, it comes down to the front seven. I mentioned DeMarcus Riddick. Is he good enough to carry the load at linebacker? It's DeMarcus Riddick, it's Caleb Wheatland, the Maryland transfer, and that's it in terms of linebacker production and what they've proven. Nobody else in that room has shown anything in their college career. And then at defensive tackle, how many years, guys, have we had this same question in Auburn? It's been an issue. I don't think it'll be an issue next year because all these, a 5-star like Malik Autry, a great, really massive-looking nose tackle like Jordan Crawford. Those guys are all going to be a year older, but they're just freshmen right now. They're just 18-year-olds. Who is going to be the difference maker at defensive tackle? Is it Malik Blockton stepping in for his sophomore year? I think he's got a lot of potential. To complement him, you've got transfers from Liberty, you've got transfers from Florida and A&M, and a transfer from Western Kentucky. None of those, you don't want to put somebody in a box, but does that really move the needle for you guys? Are you scared of a Florida A&M transfer? I think he can be good. He could, develop into a good player, but it's just a lot of question marks, right? It's more question marks than answers at defensive tackle. And so that group is really under the microscope for me in fall camp because we've been waiting several seasons now for Auburn to have consistent interior defensive line play, and we'll see if we're waiting another year or if they're able to have some people step up in the preseason.
As far as ceiling wins for this Auburn football team, Nathan, as we get closer to kickoff, have you maintained what you thought back in the spring, or has that number maybe fluctuated a little bit?
Still at the same spot. I don't remember exactly what I said in the spring, but if memory serves, I think 8-4 is a solid. I know hesitate to say that word, solid, the old Gus Malzahn word, but
right.
I think that'd be a satisfactory season. Number one, you consider it's been since 2019 that they've had that many wins, and number two, 3 wins of improvement is. That's hard to do. 3 wins is a lot in the SEC. That's, they only had 5 wins last year. That's not where Auburn needs to be long term. At the same time, there's a lot of external factors that you guys alluded to at the top of the show. The NIL situation. Is Auburn back on the right track as we sit here and talk later in November or in December? Are they a top 15 recruiting class? That stuff really matters because if you go 6-6 or 7-5, and you have the number 37 recruiting class in the country, all of a sudden things are really, really iffy. And so, in terms of the 7-5 conversation, I always come back to that because I think people are sort of hard locked at 8-4, 9-3. 7-5, if the SEC is really good, which I think they could be a pretty, well-balanced league, you could go 7-5 with improvement across the board with a pretty solid offense. Maybe you lose some close games to some teams that are also good, and you have a top 10, top 15 recruiting class. Again, that's not where Auburn needs to be long-term. I'm just trying to be a realist about this season and how good the SEC could be across the board. At the same time, would not be surprised if this team goes 8-4 or 9-3, because is Georgia going to be what they usually are? I think they can be, but they've got quarterback questions. Alabama's got quarterback questions. Is A&M going to take another step? Is Oklahoma, do they have all their problems solved? That sort of thing. There's just a lot of question marks across the league, and if Auburn has its stuff together, maybe they can take advantage of that. But my prediction right now, as we get close to August, would still be that this team goes 8-4 in 2025, and I think that would be just fine for their progression. You continue chugging along and hope for get back to SEC championship contention within the next few seasons.
Nathan, we've heard John Cohen, Auburn's athletic director, and head coach Hugh Freeze. They reference, going back to recruiting, the August 1st date. I've had Auburn fans ask me. I'm not necessarily comfortable responding in what we're anticipating or what they should be anticipating. Can you give us any guidelines or just maybe kind of a frame of reference as to that August 1st date, doing what you do there at Auburn Undercover? Are you guys expecting anything major?
August 1st is when everything has to be officially written out in terms of an offer to a recruit from an NIL perspective. And so you can no longer just tell a kid, if you commit here, we're going to pay you X amount of money. If the player asks for it, you have to give them a written, detailing. I hesitate to say contract. Just there's some sort of detailing of what that financial situation would look like. At the end of the day, though, it's still just words. It's still something the player's not going to sign. Nobody's going to sign anything in August. You can't sign anything with the program until you're signed on with that program, which wouldn't happen until December. And so that has always been kind of the hesitation, is waiting for that August 1st date. My response, though, would be that I'm not sure Auburn's going to have to wait, because as you guys saw last week with the College Sports Commission, and this is just reporting from Ross Dellinger at Yahoo. It's not necessarily concrete, but it seems like the NCAA is not going to be able to do that much with the NIL situation, because the College Sports Commission ruled that they have to be treated like any other business, where you can't necessarily vet every single offer that you're making to a player through that NIL third party. And so some of that is still going to exist, but I wonder, I'll be interested to ask Hugh Freeze about it tomorrow. I know people are tired of talking about this, but probably going to need to talk to Hugh Freeze about it tomorrow. I'll be interested if Auburn has already started pivoting, because it doesn't seem like those restrictions are going to exist very much. It doesn't seem like NIL is going to be held back. I still think you're going to be able to make these ludicrous NIL offers. And, from a glass half full perspective, I know Auburn fans are concerned. John Cohen said a couple weeks ago in Atlanta, he said, if we have to pivot, we are ready to jump in with both feet. We are plenty well funded, and we are ready to get back on track. And so if that is the case, Auburn's had a couple commitments here of late. They're still toward the bottom of the SEC, still have a long way to go. But it'll be interesting now to see if Auburn has to pivot. I don't think they're going to have to wait until August 1st, but that is when we'll get the official, offers written from different programs. And I think Auburn's hope is that some of these kids will see offers from other programs that are, maybe blank checks per se, or checks that can't be cashed. But at the same time, the College Sports Commission, it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to hold us back from making these big NIL deals. So Auburn may need to start going 2 feet back into it and start writing some big checks.
Outstanding coverage of the Auburn Tigers. You can follow Nathan King on Twitter, Auburn Undercover as well. Always appreciate your insight, Nathan. Glad to finally talk some X's and O's beginning tomorrow. Enjoy the day.
For sure. Looking forward to it. See y'all later.
Thanks. That's Nathan King joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline. All of our guests join us on the Higginbotham Hotline. You deserve solutions that are built for you. Higginbotham is your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services.
Yeah, just behind the parking lot to our right, where we are here at Social Taco, there is Mandu. It's electrical muscle stimulation fitness. Mandu, in layman's terms, you're going to go into Mandu. Your first session is free. They're going to put you in a suit, hook you up to a machine that sends electric pulses to various muscle groups in your body, whether you're trying to work on your glutes, your legs, your arms, your chest, your shoulders, or just build up your endurance. Maybe you're training for a marathon. You can do it there as well. But the revolutionary approach with this electrical muscle stimulation fitness is it's a 15-minute workout. That's it. No more, no less. 15 minutes, and you pick the degree, the level of difficulty for that workout. You're going to have a personal trainer that's going to be working with you, and the 15 minutes is equivalent to 6 hours in a gym. You can't beat that. I've gotten results. So many other Jox listeners who've taken me up on the offer, they've gotten results as well. Mandu in downtown Homewood, MANDUU.com. Check out the website. Get in. Your first visit is free. They'll put you in a suit. You go through the workout, decide if you like it. I promise you're going to get results. I can almost guarantee that you're going to love it. MANDUU.com. Tell Paul and the gang that Landrum from Jox sent you. Continue live from Social Taco in Homewood. Got others arriving. Come and join us as we broadcast on a hot Tuesday on Jox.
It is 11:24. Welcome back. This is Three Man Front. Pat and Molly Landrum live on location. Come on by and see us. BB has made it here on site, and she has the banana pudding. Molly, you helped bring in the banana pudding.
I did. I haven't seen it yet. It's still in its case, but I'm sure it'll be great.
More importantly, what did she bring me and you?
I don't know. She didn't show me. I think it's a surprise.
Oh, okay. I'm sure Landrum got some kind of shepherd's pie or something.
No, she's not doing the shepherd's pie.
That's Dave.
Dave's doing the shepherd's
FSU
pie.
Dave's
Yeah.
making you the next week, I think.
He spent a lot of time overseas, and I think he picked up some tips on how to make a good shepherd's pie.
Okay.
It looked great in the pictures, though.
It did.
Well, I don't know if they have shepherd's pie, but Big Whiskey's, they certainly have just about everything else that you could want on a menu because they are a place for great food of all varieties, from appetizers to salads, burgers, steaks, wings, and more. You're going to find it all there at Big Whiskey's. Their bar also features many unique cocktails, including over 120 whiskeys and even certain whiskeys on tap. Plus, during college football season, they got plenty of screens for you to catch all the action. So go visit our friends at Big Whiskey's. They're located in Stadium Trace Village off of Highway 150 near the Hoover Met.
All right, so what you think? Nathan King telling us 8-4 for the Auburn Tigers.
Seems like a number that is certainly attainable. The way that I interpreted how he said it, Pat, was a solid 8-4. He feels pretty good about the 8-4, but could this team potentially be a 9-3? Oh my gosh, everything goes right. A 10-2. Much different tone than I can remember talking to Nathan prior to the last two seasons, and 8 wins seemed like that was going to be the absolute glass ceiling for Auburn. He seemed like he was very confident in the 8. I feel pretty good about the 8. I think Hugh Freeze needs 8 regular season wins to stay around. I think that's the expectation now with how much money has been put into this program and the days of rebuilding a program. And I realize that he was hampered with the roster that he had coming in, but it's going to be a hard sell to the boosters and the folks that are putting in that money to say wait another year. If not now, then when? Because we see examples. Now, all of these examples are not created equal, but you take a Kurt Cignetti at Indiana last year and bringing in a bunch of guys. You got a MAC 6-year quarterback. You've got James Madison players. Yes, the schedule was not an SEC schedule, but that doesn't help the argument of give us more time. You take Kenny Dillingham, what he did at Arizona State. There's examples. The expectation is you get it done with the amount of money and resources that you have available. So, yeah, 8 wins. Needs to be 8 wins. But it's going to start – the biggest game of the season, in my opinion, and how this season's going to go is going to be in Waco, Texas on a Friday night.
No, I agree 100%. And you look back to last year, Auburn finished tied with Oklahoma 14th in the SEC of these 16 teams. And if they go 8-4 during the regular season, if you equate that to what happened last year in the conference, you're looking at a season that would basically be the equivalent of a Florida or what Texas A&M did last year, because both of those teams finished with 8 wins during the season, both of them going 8-5. So we'll see what happens. You can tell that the offensive side, especially in the wide receiver room, it goes without saying, one of the best, if not the best in the country. And I'm not even thinking about Malcolm Simmons being there. I'll be honest with you. I have just completely ruled him out. That doesn't mean that he's not going to be a part of the football team moving forward. We'll find out, I guess, a little bit more tomorrow. But I think getting Singleton from Georgia Tech and having Cam Coleman, I mean, this is a very deep room anyway, and not to mention the fact that Auburn has recruited extremely well on that side of the ball. Whether Malcolm Simmons is there or not, I still think Auburn, from the wide receiver standpoint, is going to be very, very good.
Yeah, he mentioned Horatio Fields as a guy I forgot about from Wake Forest. He's got experience and kind of the vocal leader, he said, in that position group room. Perry Thompson would be interesting because we know what a big splash it was literally and figuratively when he announced his commitment a couple of summers ago to Hugh Freeze and the Auburn Tigers. Yeah, that's going to be big. Well, I want to go back to Malcolm Simmons, and I know we have to be careful when we're talking about this and the severity of the charges that have been levied against him and that he is facing right now. Does it tell you anything, or by them not coming out and making a statement, and we could get it all tomorrow, but for no, hey, he has been dismissed or he is suspended for an indefinite amount of time, nothing from Auburn, does that indicate anything to you? And this is all speculation, of course.
To me, it just means that Auburn is being very careful, and since there is not a legal proceeding until I think he said, August? Sometime in August, I think Auburn is, obviously their internal investigation and what is going on from a legal standpoint. I think Auburn's being very careful on what they say, and I think a lot will be determined tomorrow if you see him on the practice field or if Hugh Freeze discusses it or somebody in the media asks Hugh Freeze that question tomorrow. So we'll see. A lot of people out there feel that he will be on the practice field. That's not from Nathan. That's just from people, some other folks that I have had communications with. So we'll see if that happens.
Yeah, Malcolm Simmons could certainly help, but you've got other guys, and if there's one group you do feel good about heading into the season if you're an Auburn fan, it's that wide receiver room. And now maybe a capable quarterback to throw it to him.
There's no doubt about it. You need to take advantage of Courtesy GMC summer sales event. That is going on as we speak, and the savings are hotter than ever, whether it's the Sierra Denali Ultimate or the AT4X. It's the largest selection in Birmingham you're going to find right there at Courtesy GMC in Trussville. Plus, they've got over 30 certified pre-owned vehicles on the ground, priced to move. Don't wait. Visit them online or stop by Courtesy GMC in Trussville right off of I-459 exit 32. It's where Alabama saves on GMCs. I bought my wife some brand new tires from the service department, and if you have a little fender bender, their award-winning body shop, they're ready to serve you as well. And when you go to Courtesy GMC in the showroom, you're not going to miss anything. So whether it's during the week or on the weekend, they've got televisions everywhere, and you're not going to miss the very latest in the world of sports. Just go by and see Courtesy GMC. You're going to get the very best deal you can from a new GMC, and as well the courtesy that you're going to have of the fine folks there at Courtesy GMC in Trussville off of I-459.
We're broadcasting live from Social Taco. Coming up next, we got some times to interact with you. A lot of the text coming in on the Jox text line, 205-834-9450. It is lunchtime. Come and join us here inside the cool air conditioning of Social Taco in Homewood. It's three-man front on Jox.
It's 11:35 here in Birmingham. It is hot. It is sweltering, but you know what? It is a beautiful temperature here inside Social Taco. Come on by and see us for an extended lunch break right here on the Taco Terrace. Yes, BB has already arrived. She has the banana pudding. She is ready to distribute that when you come have lunch.
We have plates. We have everything you need. There's no excuse for you not to be here, right?
Never is.
No, I just heard a great joke. It's so hot outside that Jehovah's Witnesses have started telemarketing. I think it's good. If you're a Jehovah's Witness, you got to laugh at that.
That is good.
If not, then send all your texts and emails to Conrad.
Conrad, huh?
Well, it seems like he's the easy target right now.
I'm always the easy target, Landrum, let's be honest.
I know.
We just got the chicken feathers have been delivered.
Yeah, how are those?
Fantastic.
Not that I have to ask.
Do you have them delivering some up here as well?
Yeah, sure.
Great. I look forward to it.
They should be there very, very soon. All right, so Conrad, there was an interesting list that came out this morning, and I know practices start tomorrow, so we're kind of trying to get through all of these lists that we've had in the off season. This one is very surprising to me, and Andy Staples came out with this from On3, and it's the top offensive coordinators in college football.
That would be correct, Pat. So he ranked the top 10 offensive coordinators heading into the 2025 season. And I will just go through the list 10 to 1, and then we will see if there are any names in particular that you felt maybe should have been included on the list. So we will start at number 10, where you have Drew Cronick, the offensive coordinator for Navy.
Okay.
At number 9, we have Jake Spavital, the OC for Baylor. I apologize if I mispronounced his name. Number 8, you have Buster Faulkner, Georgia Tech. At 7, Marcus Arroyo, Arizona State. 6 would be Andy Kotelnicki at Penn State. 5 would be Garrett Riley at Clemson. 4, Mike Shanahan, Indiana. Number 3, Shannon Dawson, the Miami offensive coordinator. Number 2 is Mike Denbrock, Notre Dame. And the number 1 offensive coordinator in college football, according to Andy Staples and On3, is Will Stein of Oregon. So that is your top 10. So quickly, just running through the schools again, you have Navy, Baylor, Georgia Tech, Arizona State, Penn State, Clemson, Indiana, Miami, Notre Dame, and Oregon make the top 10.
So there is no SEC offensive coordinators.
That would be correct.
0. Not a 1.
Not a single one, Pat.
The defense down here, man.
I just, and my main takeaway from that is, would we not all agree, maybe you didn't have him at number 1, but I think 2 years ago, if you did a random poll of college football media, fans, whatever, Ryan Grubb would have been a staple in the top 5. Again, not saying he would have been your number 1 pick, but this is a guy that 2 years ago was one of the most sought-after assistant coaches in all of college football. He goes to the NFL for a year. They restart, get rid of their quarterback, get rid of Grubb, and now he's not even in the top 10? That's kind of surprising.
All right, so to me, and I know it might be like from a technical standpoint, because first off, we know that Steve Sarkisian is the offensive coordinator at Texas. We also know that Josh Heupel's the offensive coordinator at Tennessee. So if you mean to tell me that Buster Faulkner at Georgia Tech is better than either one of those two guys, you're smoking crack, and you have no idea what you're talking about. There is no way that Buster Faulkner should be on that list ahead of a Josh Heupel or Steve Sarkisian. Now, from a technical standpoint, I don't have the media guide in front of me. There might be, under a title only, an official offensive coordinator at Texas, but we know who's calling the plays. Now, Lane Kiffin does not call the plays every single play at Ole Miss. He's very heavily involved in the play calling at Ole Miss, but let's just say not on every down. Same can be said for Hugh Freeze at Auburn University. But Josh Heupel and Steve Sarkisian, they are the main ones for those two schools. So I have no idea whatsoever that somebody would put Buster Faulkner at 8 or Spavital at Baylor or even Drew Cronick at Navy ahead of what Josh Heupel and Steve Sarkisian has done at those two schools.
Yeah, maybe the point of the exercise here was to feature some of the other guys that are not as prominent. I mean, it starts with Ryan Grubb. Isn't there a reason why Ryan Grubb was one of the highest paid or the highest paid coordinator in all of college football before he took the job in Seattle to go to the NFL?
Well, he does classify and clarify on his list. He says some of the best play callers, Sarkisian and Lane Kiffin, for example, are head coaches. Meanwhile, some coaches with offensive coordinator titles are elite position coaches but don't call plays. If we rank offensive line coaches, the Longhorns' Kyle Flood, who has the OC title in Austin, would land near the top.
Okay.
But there's no mention of Josh Heupel. I mean, there's not an example there of saying, okay, well, this is why we don't have Josh Heupel listed. It's because technically, he's the head coach, not the OC.
It's an interesting list, and I think you would, again, okay, it's going to be his first year, but you're looking at these guys that are high-profile position coaches. Maybe that's where like a Brian Hartline fits in there at Ohio State, right, because he's taking over for Chip Kelly. But I think we'd all agree when it comes to coaching wide receivers, it doesn't get any better than what he's done with that offense. But, yeah, I mean, the fact that you don't have a guy like that, or like you said, you don't give a shout-out to Heupel. And okay, fair, if you don't want to count head coaches that call their own plays, but I don't know. I feel like maybe it's a little misleading at that point because you are leaving off, honestly, the best of the best in a lot of those cases.
Yeah, it's an odd list, and we all know how these lists are concocted. These lists are put together so that radio talk shows like us or message boards on certain websites that they're going to get the clicks and what they want. Ole Miss had the number 2 offense in all of college football last year. You had Arkansas that had the 10th best offense in all of college football
Bobby
last year.
P.
Did you realize that? Bobby Petrino?
I didn't realize they were top 10.
Yeah, top 10. They were ahead of Clemson, who he's got Riley as one of the top offensive coordinators, but you don't have Bobby Petrino. Don't you think that Arkansas did more with less than Clemson did?
Yeah.
Okay. Tennessee finished 15th in America in total offense. 5 spots ahead of Baylor. But Baylor's offensive coordinator made the list?
See, I'd say, what about, Sloan at LSU? Like, okay, maybe, they win 9 games a lot, but offensively speaking,
LSU was a top 25 offense last year.
They're great.
So,
He had a Heisman Trophy winner 2 years ago. Might have one again this year.
Well, him and Ari Wasserman, they've done a pretty nice job of coming up with some pretty ridiculous lists, to be honest with you. So, but we continue to talk about it, so check the box. They've done their job.
Yeah, I appreciate a good list, kind of like I do Indian food every now and then. But it's about time for list season to be over, right? We're talking about actual games, actual football.
Is this list going to burn later?
Yes. Yes, it will. It will start up top, and it will slowly migrate its way down.
Yeah, that's how it normally works.
Mm-hmm. You know all about that, don't you?
Come on by and see us. So we're located on the Taco Terrace. Dr. Mel has arrived here on site. We hope to see you. We'll be here until 2 o'clock. This is 3-Man Front on Jox. Welcome back in. It's three-man front live at Social Taco. Come on by and see us. We'll be here until 2 o'clock. Yes, BB has arrived. She has the banana pudding ready for you. Come on by.
Yeah, we got the chicken feathers ready for you as well. Got a hot basket of deliciously battered, deep-fried, seasoned white meat chicken with the assorted sauces, which you don't need, Pat. I like the assorted sauces. The chicken doesn't need it, but you go no sauce. Let the chicken speak for itself, right?
The seasoning's outstanding.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
Something else outstanding is our friends at Dobbs Ford right there on Parkway East in Birmingham. Joey Goshen, his wife Rachel, they're doing wonderful work every single day in the community, and they're at Dobbs. They're working on an F-250 for a buddy of mine, his daughter, looking for that truck. She needs it for work, and they're searching for it. There's a lot of different packages there, but right now you're going to get the Ford employee pricing where you're going to pay what the Ford employees pay 90 days until your first payment. Alabama's largest showroom selection. You're going to find it at Dobbs Ford. F-150s, Mustangs, Broncos. How about an Expedition just in time for football season and tailgating? Sounds like a winner to me. DobbsFordBirmingham.com. That's a website. Always tell them Landrum from Jox sent you.
So yesterday afternoon we found out that DJ Lagway, he's been walking in a boot. It is a lower leg injury. The Florida quarterback, if you remember, this is not an ideal situation for him. He was out last spring because of the injury to a leg. He's been in a walking boot, but most people in Gainesville believe that this is a minor calf issue, and it should not hinder him the rest of fall camp. Now, speaking of Lagway, he has just signed an NIL deal with T-Mobile. He recently filmed a commercial with Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes and former NFL star tight end Rob Gronkowski as part of the partnership. The ad is part of T-Mobile's Beyond the Game campaign, and it features the three stars reflecting on an impact of high school football. For Lagway, it marks the latest NIL venture, and according to On3, his NIL valuation sits at $3.7 million ahead of his sophomore season. That is tied for sixth best according to On3's NIL valuation. Arch Manning comes in first with $6.8 million, followed by Carson Beck at $4.3 million. Jeremiah Smith, the all-world wide receiver from Ohio State, comes in at third best NIL. And then A.J. DeBontese from
Easy for you to say.
yeah, he's the BYU starting forward, right? He's the basketball player that Alabama missed out on. He's making $4.1 million. Garrett Nussmeier comes in with the fifth best NIL at $3.8 million. And Lenore Sellers is making just as much as DJ Lagway at Florida at $3.7 million, according to NIL valuation by On3.
Yeah, and then there's some that weren't even mentioned there with some of the deals that have been reported with guys coming out of high school, right? Underwood, was he on there?
He was not.
But wasn't that reported to be $12 million if he stayed the course of his contract?
The course of his contract, I believe you are correct.
But these are the only things that are being reported. There's other
plenty of
deals
others,
that are
right.
out there that are not, but just an idea of how far we've come in a short amount of time with NIL and the transfer portal valuations. Remember the good old days? It's like $141,000.
And a Dodge Charger.
That barely gets you a third-string offensive lineman.
Wait, so what was, quickly, do you have Carson Beck's number?
Yeah, hold on 1 second. I'll give it to you. It is $4.3 million.
Okay. See, I was just wondering how some of these work because I know it's come out that I guess his base NIL is $4 million with the potential to go up to $6 million this year at Miami. So I was just kind of curious how the valuation weighed that.
If I was going to ask you guys, Arch Manning or Carson Beck is your quarterback. Nothing else that you know about the team, but who are you taking?
I mean, I think smart money would be Carson Beck.
More experience?
Yeah. He's been there, done that.
What about you, Conrad?
I'm going to roll the dice.
You're going Arch.
Yeah. I just and again, I know Beck, when he talked to the media at ACC Media Days, he did his whole, I tried to be Superman last year. I made too many throws that I was just trying to, go for the home run shot every time. And maybe he changes that this year, but, I definitely had some questions about his decision-making last year. So, yeah, I'll roll with Arch.
Okay.
So Jeremiah Smith, who I saw a publication this morning, predicted him to win the Heisman. It's not shocking. But the question is, what quarterback's going to be throwing to him?
Yeah.
Is it Julian Sayin?
Who else do they have? I know Julian Sayin, but who else is potentially vying for that next spot? Well, if you're Ohio State,
Doesn't matter. They just
does
reload.
it really matter?
No.
You're loaded with talent. You play a Big Ten schedule. Well, you do play Texas to start the season. Is that going to be a big indicator for you guys? Because given the projected records that I've seen from either media members or voting or these different media outlets, and we're giving our predictions prior to the start of the season, it's like it's a foregone conclusion that Texas is going to get beat by Ohio State.
Yeah.
Will that be indicative of what we see in the SEC? Is that going to be the litmus test for you guys? I know it's one game, and it's just one team from the SEC.
It's not for me, not anymore. I mean, I've already turned the page. I'm in that NFL mentality now, where whether you lose at the very beginning of the season or you lose multiple games during the year, it's all about trying to get to the college football playoff, and I don't think it's that important. I know the fan base. Let's say, for instance, LSU. LSU goes to Clemson and they lose. You know what's going to happen? The fan base is going to implode.
Yeah.
You'll have Brian Kelly do another ridiculous post-game press conference where he kills a water bottle like he did in Las Vegas, but it won't matter because if LSU can put together a solid SEC win and loss record, then they'll be in the college football playoff. So
but then
matter.
it becomes whether it's LSU with that opening game, Auburn playing in Waco against Baylor. Then it becomes, all right, we're now 0-1. Let's look at the rest of the schedule and how that plays out, and then that's when maybe your mindset.
Yeah, I mean, it's not good for
bit.
LSU if you lose that game. But for me, I think you're so used to LSU losing that first game where everyone can see the proofs in the pudding in regards to them being able to rebound and be a competitive team, whereas at Auburn, that has not been the case.
That's the truth. Come and join us. Other folks have. Dr. Mel is here and others at Social Taco. There's FSU Dave. No shepherd's pie yet. FSU Dave walked in already. The pitcher on its way. Three-man front. We continue live from Social Taco in Homewood. Join us, won't you? Another 2 hours jam-packed college football discussion here on Jox.
As we begin hour number 3 here on Three Man Front, come on by and see us. We're located at the Social Tacos, second floor, Taco Terrace. Come on by and see us. We've got pudding, we've got Gringo, we've got FSU Dave, Dr. Mel. We've got all the fun folks here at Social Taco. Come on by and see us.
Well, if you want to come by and see us to help kick off college football, join us at the Bill Smith Buick GMC Jox Kickoff Party at Regents Field on Thursday, August 21st. And the only way to go is by winning tickets. So to win a pair of tickets for you and a guest, text the keyword FUN, that's F-U-N, in your full name to 205-834-9450. That's the keyword FUN. And your full name to 205-834-9450. Winners are drawn and notified daily, and for more information, go and visit joxfm.com.
Look at all the people here in the restaurant with their phones out.
I know, right when I said I could see in my peripheral, I was like, oh, everyone's getting their phones out.
Have you decided what you're
texting.
going to wear yet?
I'm not sure if I'm going light blue tux or
I didn't know if we were going to do the tuxedo thing.
we had talked about it. I didn't know if we were actually going to do it.
I think it'd be good. I'll go pastel blue.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm going to go pastel blue tux. You go.
I was thinking kind of a rosebud.
So we could be like a little tribute to Ole Miss. Is that what you're thinking here?
Yeah.
you guys should get like the Dumb and Dumber ones, just in those colors.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, with the ruffled.
The ruffles and
the
everything,
ruffled
yeah.
shirt. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
It's a good
top
one.
hat.
Yeah.
Maybe a cane.
Yes. Very much so.
Who's going to drive us?
Gringo?
Okay.
He's not hearing me.
No, he's not.
Well.
Dr. Mel is.
Yeah.
Dr. Mel looks like he's ready to perform surgery.
Absolutely. He's here for all my
Scrub
health.
in, Dr. Mel.
He's all for my health elements. It's good to see him here.
It's great. We have a law enforcement officer and a physician.
Yes,
on site.
we've got it covered.
Nothing says like a Tuesday on three-man front, right?
There's no doubt about that. So the Braves last night, they win over the Royals 10-7. They snap a 5-game losing streak. Tonight they're back in Kansas City taking on the Royals. Eric Fetty will make his first start for the Atlanta Braves. Yesterday, Major League Baseball announced that they have sold over 85,000 tickets to the MLB Speedway Classic on August the 2nd at the Bristol Motor Speedway. The figure surpasses a regular season record of 84,587 set in 1954 in Cleveland between the Indians and the Yankees. So they've already sold as many tickets as the Major League Baseball record for a regular season game. Now, an even larger crowd showed up at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum back in 2008. This was an exhibition game. 115,000 showed up for that game at the LA Memorial Coliseum. So they're talking about potentially close to 90,000 for the game between the Braves and the Reds at the Bristol Motor Speedway. And I understand that ticket buyers have come from all 50 states, Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, Washington, D.C., and 9 other countries on 4 continents. So it's been well represented who's going to be at the game. I'm really surprised you and Dorothy did not make the trip.
Yeah, we thought about doing it, and even with the Braves playing bad, it would be cool to be able to go see, but we can't make it work schedule-wise. So we will not be there. Hopefully they do it again.
So they've already sold.
Bring it to Talladega. We'll go then.
Yeah, they've already sold 85,000 tickets, and they anticipate that when the game has its first pitch, it's going to be right at around 90.
I'm looking at the layout and how they're going to do it, and wow. 160,000 tons of gravel are going to be brought in for the 2 sets of drain systems that have been installed. Some of the track's wall is going to be removed and replaced, and netting is going to be put in place to protect the fans. You're a purist. Do you like this?
No,
I didn't think you did.
I do not. I would prefer doing things like they did at Rickwood.
Yeah.
Now, I do not have a problem like when they went to, was it Fort Bragg, and they built the stadium, and they played a game there. I don't
Yeah.
have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with doing what they did in a cornfield. But, doing it at Motor Speedway, I don't know. But
It's a little bit of a reach, but it's Major League Baseball thinking outside the box.
sure. Hey, listen, 90,000 people have purchased tickets.
To go watch a terrible baseball team in the Atlanta Braves.
And there's going to be millions of people watching on television. So,
Awful.
Yeah. So whatever you're spending there, I think it's worthy. A couple weeks ago, well, I guess it was last week, Rhett Lashley at ACC Football Media Days, he took a shot at the Southeastern Conference, having only 6 champions since 1964. I'll give him credit. Rhett, the Arkansas native who played at Arkansas, he was a quarterback for Gus Malzahn back in his high school days. He went on the Paul Feinbaum show yesterday, and this is what he had to say. Take a listen. He did not back down off of his statement from ACC Media Days.
I got a lot of respect for the league. All I said was a comment, and unfortunately it's a factual comment that the same 6 schools have won that league for the last 60 years. And, it's just hard to argue parity if that's the case. Now, look, I'm not necessarily saying the ACC is better or worse. I think the SEC is, again, a league I respect that's done a lot of great things. But we live in a day and age where, unfortunately, we're all forced to politic, almost like it's a contest or a pageant to get into the playoffs in certain things. And when that's the case and one league is considered to maybe need preferential treatment for bids because of their depth, we got to at least look at the facts. And it's not as much a comparison of league versus league. It's just, I think that argument's not the reason. I think each year teams should stand on their own production and success. They have a great league. I feel like we have a great league, and I'm excited college football's here.
Yeah, I understand what he's saying. And Rhett Lashley, if he was sitting here and the phones were away and we weren't on the air, he would admit the SEC. He knows the SEC is better than the ACC when it comes to football, but you have to say that. The problem is we saw SMU play in Happy Valley in the first round of the playoffs last year, and there could not be a worse example of stating your case than what we saw in that game. I know it's one game, and you got 22 guys on the field, and one insisted on throwing it to the other team 83 times for a bunch of pick sixes. But it really hurts the argument. And I like Rhett Lashley, but
I
don't want to see that again.
No, I don't think any of us do, and I think you hit the nail on the head there at the beginning, Landrum. It's, all right, you put this guy on a lie detector test. He's an ACC head coach. You got to do what you got to do, but being somebody that's familiar with the SEC, I just don't know how you can, with a straight face, double down on the idea that there's no parity in the SEC or in comparison to the ACC. I mean, he even goes on to mention, essentially, I'm not saying the ACC is any better than the SEC. Then why are you opening your mouth in the first place? Like, you're taking shots at the SEC while you have your dirty laundry in the closet right behind you. The door's wide open and everyone can see it. It just
the same
doesn't
reason that
make any
Jim
sense,
Phillips.
man.
Yeah, you're right. It's the same reason that your Mark and Jim Phillips do. You have to be outspoken. You have to politic where you are, and the people who are paying your salary. But Rhett Lashley knows, and he does have to politic. I feel like he's going to have to politic a little bit harder if it's a frog hair between his resume at the end of the season and somebody else's, if they're not winning a conference championship because of last year, and that's fresh on the minds.
Well, here's the part that was interesting to me. So he's basically saying that, we don't like doing the politicking, and then he basically doubled down on that statement. He was trying to point out once again that I don't like this politicking and what the coaches have to do, but then he basically just doubled down and pointed out the
Gave
fact
a stump
that,
speech.
Yeah.
So if you're Rhett Lashley, seriously, like, I would have taken the approach, okay, so the SEC is so good that's why Alabama came knocking on our door and tried to steal our quarterback last year that led us to the playoff. Like, that's the angle you want to take, right? If you want to go and take shots at the SEC, that's an angle that's wide open for you. But trying to argue that there's no parity in the SEC or the depth doesn't compare to the ACC, everyone knows that's a bold-faced lie. The facts don't back it up. But if you want to go take a shot, take the shot that's given to you on a silver platter. But I guess he
Well,
decided
it's-
to go this route instead for some reason.
And sometimes depth doesn't mean quality overall. You could have a conference that top to bottom is full of a lot of mediocre football teams.
Very much so. All right, he's got a plan. He's got an idea. Take a listen to what Rhett Lashley told Paul Feinbaum yesterday in regards to his idea on a college football playoff expansion.
The committee has a hard job. I think we need to reimagine. I think 16 teams is best, and here's why. Because I think more teams, more access for more players and more fan bases, which we exist to serve the players and the fans. We don't have to add a week to the season. As a matter of fact, I agree with Dan Lanning. Let's slide everything up a week. We can still go 16 teams in the same amount of time we did 12 teams, just nobody gets a bye. We still get the on-campus exposure, which I think was phenomenal. And then I think the second thing, and this is the hard one, we need to not have committees. No other major professional sport and no other big-time sports entity picks their contestants through a committee. Coaches like myself and others shouldn't be politicking for our teams down the stretch. It should be decided on the field. And so I'm not one of those who necessarily believes in a lot of imbalanced automatic bursts either. I know y'all have talked about that. Like, let it be decided on the field like it is in other major sports programs, leagues. And then I think the third and final, if you did that, depending on how you want to do it, you could set up for that championship Saturday at the end of every season to not only be championship Saturday in the four major conferences, but could be playing Saturday within the four major conferences, which would allow college football to have a standalone Saturday, no NFL. It would be the biggest sports Saturday in America.
What do you think? You like that plan? Like that idea?
I like it as a college football fan, but and it's no offense to Rhett Lashley or anybody else that pitches out an idea. We pitch them out every single day. I'm to the point where that sounds great and that's wonderful, but what's actually feasible and realistic? I'm now down to pare it down to the 2 or 3, most likely, no matter how absurd, how much I hate them, that people are going to agree on, so we can finalize it, we can have some finality, and we can move forward with a format. Selling on the field is great. How are we going to do it? How do we do it?
I mean,
where everybody agrees. How are we going to do it?
Well, not everybody's going to agree. I mean, that's the whole problem. That's why everybody keeps kicking the can down the road. And that's why the conference commissioners can't, come to any type of conclusion. But, once again, just pointing out that here's a coach, just like what you're hearing from the Big Ten folks, who are wanting to find themselves in a position where they can find themselves, having that play-in game, so to speak.
Well, and this is where, we talk a lot about how we're getting closer to the NFL, but this is the one differentiating factor, the biggest one, I think, still, is you're talking about, 32 teams in the NFL as opposed to 130-plus college football programs, which is, again, like Landrum, I think you were saying, it sounds like a nice idea, but the reality of a format where there's no sort of committee or rankings and it's all just based on how you earn it on the field, that's not realistic when you have that many teams that are in the fold and in the mix there. So, again, it sounds nice. I appreciate him offering up his ideas. I thought what Dan Lanning said the other week had a lot of good ideas to go with it. It's just I don't know how feasible that's going to be in reality, and we're gonna be stuck with this committee, unfortunately, and we are just going to have to hope that they change their criteria around it and start to focus on the things that college football fans want them to focus on, and we're kind of at the mercy of that right now.
The ACC, they might say, yeah, let's play it on the field, let's play it out. Well, the Mountain West, if they play it out, does that mean that just a team from the Mountain West represents the Mountain West and gets into the college football playoff?
Well, I think
because I don't want to see that.
No, and I think everybody, he keeps talking about playing it on the field, but let's just be honest. I think he's referring to the Power Four. He's not referring to the Group of Five. You allow them access, but you have got to put a maximum on those Power Four programs because they play a tougher schedule.
And again, I understand where he's coming from, but what's realistic in coming to an agreement and getting this thing at least for 2 to 5 years set in stone where we have a format moving forward that everyone is somewhat comfortable with? It's like fixing the deficit.
Yeah. We'd love to hear from you. The Courtesy GMC text line is open, 205-834-9450, 1-800-239-WJOX. Mike Griffith will join the show coming up at 1 o'clock. This is Three-Man Front on Jox. Welcome back in. It's Three-Man Front. Molly, Conrad, Landry, I'm Pat. Be with you until 2 o'clock. Mike Griffith from the AJCDogNation.com. He'll join us coming up at 1 o'clock. You know, after all this spring storms, the summer storms that we've been experiencing, I need to tell you about Abide Roofing because they can come to your house, give you a free roof inspection. There's no strings attached. There's no pressure. They just want to give you an honest look at what's going on up there and give you some options. And trust me on this, folks. I'm speaking from experience. A few years back, Travis from Abide Roofing took care of me, got me a brand new roof, and even with my insurance company being, let's just say, less than helpful, Travis was right there helping me every step of the way. I 100% trust these guys. They are licensed, bonded, insured. They're the real deal. Your roof protects everything you care about. So call Abide Roofing today. The number is 205-972-5200. 922-7134, or simply go to their website, abideroof.com, and they can come out and give you a free assessment and tell you what's going on up on top of your roof. If it's just a couple loose shingles, they can take care of that. If you need a whole roof replacement, they can do that as well. 205-922-7134.
Text line is open here on 3-Man Front, 205-834-9450. The best way for you to interact with us each and every day. We're just talking and reflecting, discussing Rhett Lashley's comments about the college football playoff moving forward. And Justin texts in and says, I say we just do a 25-team playoff since we've been used to a top 25 forever. 18 teams play in the first round, 7 teams receive byes.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good. Let's pass it. Rubber stamp it. Go.
I'm good.
Jimmy says, fixing the deficit, LOL, there's a better chance the Epstein files getting released. Yeah, I'm waiting for those.
Then fixing the CFP?
I'm just waiting for the Epstein files.
Oh.
See if you're in there. I'm kidding. Brian says, there was more to that pitch that Rhett Lashley made. Strength of schedule was in there. Okay. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you, BB.
So BB has the banana pudding that I think she's getting ready to distribute, maybe. I'm not really sure. But she has made me and Molly.
Oh, wow.
That looks so good.
Looks like a explosion of dessert.
Yes.
It looks
Sorry,
like
Conrad.
a fire. It looks like a firework.
Is it a cupcake?
It's like a bundt cake.
It's like a bundt cake.
That sounds wonderful.
Oh, like hot chocolate lava. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, it's a hot chocolate lava cake? Oh, man.
It's about the size. So just imagine a garden gnome. Like if a garden gnome jumped out of a cake to surprise you on your birthday, it would jump out of this thing.
I've always wanted that on my birthday. Man,
I know you have.
That sounds great.
This one coming from our friend up in North Carolina. It says Landrum, parity in the ACC equals we all suck.
That's a good way to put it.
Season's here. Love it. This one rolling in from Montgomery. Appreciate our friends listening down there. What do you think is going to happen with straight seeding in the first round? Blowouts.
Certainly was the case this past year.
Steve from Tuscaloosa, out working today, said, it's so hot I saw a dog chasing a cat, and they were both walking. Conrad, this one coming in for you. Pro tip for men with stank feet. Put a little Lotrimin on and around your toes every morning before applying socks and shoes. Your feet will never smell bad again. You're welcome, Moon Pie Bueller.
Okay. That's good, that's good to know.
Moon Pie Bueller, the only problem with that is Conrad does not wear socks.
Yeah, no, I just have oiled up feet the whole day, which would be kind of weird. Did y'all ever try the baby powder thing? That actually might be good for your website, Landrum.
On what?
I bet there's a genre for that. The baby powder, you put it in your shoe.
Oh, on shoe.
To make it not smell.
There's a lot of different.
I mean, yeah, strictly in the shoe.
Yeah. Well, baby powder works for a lot of stuff.
I was about to say, I've done that before. In the shoe.
I had to get some when we were down at Disney. Came in handy.
I'm sure it did.
Got everywhere, but it came in handy. For sure. Posey said, heard on the latest update of the football game, Aranda wins, and a word I will not say, little people storm the field. And a porta potty has been added to the Colorado sideline.
Did I see the
the adult?
They tweeted at
Dellinger.
They call it adult diapers, or what's the official term? I'm trying to be official and correct these days.
We'll just call it an undergarment, maybe?
Yeah, I'm trying to find.
You saw the same tweet, right? It was from Depends?
Yeah, because, and it was from Ross Dellinger had reported on the story from Dion where we aired the press conference yesterday. And they just responded like, we have Dion's back or something like that. That is a commercial you will be seeing soon. I almost guarantee it.
So I'm not being crass. I'm just being, this is not a Pat Ponders question, but I am curious. Do we anticipate that there will be one on the sideline talking about some form of?
I think so.
Think so?
Yeah.
You're correct, Freeman. I did. I had to take care of it. Talking about baby powder Disney. Swamp reference.
Oh, here you go. Here's the, sorry, real quick. This is the newest item from Depends. It is called the Pit Diaper. So if you need a diaper when you're mosh pitting at a heavy metal concert, they have you covered. Yeah, I'll send you the video real quick. It's on their Twitter account.
I have read that a lot of people, whether you're going to, let's say, New Year's Eve in Times Square, where you literally have to basically camp out there all day long.
NFL draft, Detroit.
Whatever the case may be, that many of the folks will wear those type of undergarments. So
that's what we did in college because you'd have to camp out for your tickets, like outside the ticket office, and you'd have to stay there for over 12 hours.
So you wore undergarments at Alabama tickets for football?
Yeah, well, you couldn't get up and, like, it wasn't a,
okay,
hey,
so
will you
seriously, so you used one?
No,
I knew
yeah,
I don't believe
no.
that.
His response right there, he was like, "No, I shouldn't admit this,"
because he knew that we make fun of him.
Yep.
That's
totally
why.
did. I've got a slogan for Depends. You know what their slogan should be?
What should it be?
Roll the dice and don't think twice. Huh?
it's pretty good.
When was the last time you gambled and lost, Conrad?
Ooh, it's been a while.
Okay.
Thankfully, it's been a while.
For me, it was last night taking the Blue Jays over the Orioles.
Very good response, Pat. Conrad is just weird. He doesn't wear socks, uses other people's toothbrush, and sleeps sitting up. No, technically he does not sleep sitting up. He's so weird. He sleeps in the sit-up position.
Okay, so I asked Paige when we got home, I said, all right, Landrum said that I do this weird thing when I sleep. Have you ever noticed this before? And she said she's never seen me do that before. So I don't know what got into me that first night in Atlanta. I guess I just was, getting used to my new roommate, and I was trying to show off or something.
Well, your new roommate, I cannot tell you how relieved I was when I realized that you were asleep. Because I look over there, you're in sit-up position. It's 2 a.m. in the morning, and I'm thinking, oh, gosh, what is going on?
Just getting cozy. I will have to donate my body to science, though, because like that person points out, I'm an interesting individual.
Did Conrad find himself speaking while he was sleeping? You were like sitting next to the bed staring at him while he sleeps?
Well, the video I sent you.
That was funny.
Yeah.
It was also disturbing that you were doing that late at night.
Wait, what?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing.
We're saving it for the kickoff party.
Yeah.
We're going to put it on the Jumbotron.
Haney's got the video. We've given it to the Barons. They're going to play it on the Jumbotron.
That would be great. Thank you.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Everybody will enjoy it at your expense.
Yeah, everybody except you. But everybody will love it.
Was it just me in my sleep, reciting Chris Fowler's 2nd and 26 touchdown call in the national championship game? Was that what I was muttering in my sleep?
No, but you did reference Chris Fowler in your dream.
Yeah, something about
French Bistro.
Yeah, in Manhattan. I don't know. It's just weird.
That was my second guess.
Table for two, dimly lit. Sharing a plate of escargot.
People just have such a wrong idea of me based on this show.
They really do.
Thank you, Molly.
Posey said Depends work better in the sit-up position.
The banana pudding. Looking good. I wish I liked banana pudding. I just don't.
Somebody asking Molly, what is Molly going to wear if me and you are wearing tuxes?
What are you wearing if we're wearing tuxes?
Well, if one of them is pastel blue, I have an old bridesmaid's dress that's pastel blue.
Yeah.
We could match.
Okay. E. Robinson's already sent us, what we should wear.
What did he send us?
Thought I had it.
Right here.
There it is.
Keep the text rolling in, 205-834-9450. That is the Jox text line, and we always appreciate your interaction every single day. Every single Tuesday, we appreciate your interaction here at Social Taco. We're here for another hour and a half. You can come and join us. A lot of our great Jox listeners, friends, family, we call them now Jox family, hanging out with us. The Taco Tuesday mix and match combination tacos, $4 all day long. Mexican pizzas are to die for. And don't forget about the chicken feathers that Pat and Molly are knocking out right now. SocialTaco.bar for more information. Plenty of college football news and notes to get to. Three-man front on a hot Tuesday on Jox.
We're back on three-man front on Jox. Pat, Molly, Landrum here on site. Conrad back high atop Red Mountain, making sure we're keeping everything right in the middle of the road, not over in the ditch like we did yesterday with the Dave Aranda comments.
Yeah, you and Conrad got a little bit off the rails.
Yeah, we did. Who was that Instagram that you sent me earlier this morning, Conrad? Who was the performer?
Oh, Sassy Cassie.
Yeah, he sent me this performer on Instagram named Sassy Cassie.
She's a little bit of a local legend from what I understand.
Yeah, I understand that she has been in Birmingham.
She's in the performing arts?
She is.
Okay. What does she do in particular, Conrad?
She removes articles and does interpretive dances.
Okay. So a little person exotic dancer is what you're telling us.
If that's what you got from my description, then yeah.
And you've seen her perform live is what you're telling us.
I have not.
No, multiple times he has.
All right. Thank you, Molly.
Oh, Molly.
We're just trying to keep it real.
There you go. All right. You can't ignore certain problems around your house, especially your foundation. That's why you need to call Alabama Professional Services, 205-951-9717. It'll be the best decision you made to protect your home. APS, they're going to send a team out. They really know their stuff. They'll inspect everything, explain the problem clearly, and offer solutions that are tailored to your home. No pressure, just honest advice. Go to their website, alabamaprofessional.com, or call them at 205-951-9717. Okay, so we told you a little bit earlier about a simulation that a reporter from the Tuscaloosa News, Colin Gay, he ran the entire season of Alabama football, and it did not turn out very well. Matter of fact, Alabama won their first 7 games, but then they finished 8-5 on the season, losing to LSU, Oklahoma at home, and they got trounced by Auburn in the Iron Bowl on the Plains. Well, there is another simulation out, this time by Pro Football Focus, in which they ran 10,000 season simulations, given team point spread ratings, strength of schedule, and team records to come up with their top 25. Coming in at number 1 was Ohio State. No big surprise. Their projected win total, 9.4. Oregon came in at number 2. Projected win total 9.23. Texas, the first Southeastern Conference representative in the Pro Football Focus simulation, they come in with a projected win total of 8.25. These are a lot lower than you think, because so far, not one single team did their simulation have a team that won more than 10 games. Georgia came in next at number 4, Notre Dame 5, Penn State 6, Alabama 7. Their projected win total is 7.8, according to Pro Football Focus.
Man, EA Sports was generous then.
Ole Miss at 8, Miami, Florida 9, Tennessee 10, South Carolina 11, Michigan 12, Clemson 13. Their preseason, top 3?
Yeah.
In a lot of polls?
Yeah, top 5, top 3.
LSU 14, Rhett Lashley's SMU Mustangs at 15, Missouri 16, Indiana 17, Florida 18, Iowa 19, Arizona State, Texas A&M, Louisville at 22, Washington 23, Boise State 24, Baylor 25. Now they keep going. Illinois 28, Auburn 30. Their projected win total is 6.68. The projected chance to make a bowl game for Auburn is 69.39%. Projected chance to win the national championship is 0.30%. They got Oklahoma at 31. I'm trying to find Nebraska, Molly. That's why I keep going down the list. Arkansas at 42. Nebraska at 44.
Woo. Yay.
The projected win total for Nebraska is 7.
I'll take that.
Parade.
7.17.
Bring the Scarlets back.
Alumni weekend.
Have they ever asked y'all to do that? Do y'all go back and dance?
They do it every 5 years.
Every 5 years?
Yeah.
So when will be the next rotation that you'll be invited back?
The last one was my senior year, so probably in 3 years.
Are you in good standing?
Yes.
Because I know you had some issues with your sorority before you
That's
left.
a different story. Dance team, though, we're good.
I was making sure that you were still in good standing.
We're still in good standing.
You didn't cave to peer pressure, and
Never.
I think it was big for you to stand up.
No, everything's good with your sorority.
Not
Yeah, I'm in
everybody
good standing.
wants to wear a toga.
There
I
was-
almost
there was-
wasn't, but I am.
Yeah, but there was just an issue towards the
Yes.
back end of your
Yes.
tenure there.
There was.
Have they removed?
And by the way, but what you told me, I'm with you 100%.
Thank you.
Well, I'm backing
everybody
you.
else was except for one person,
One
and that one
person?
person just happened to be in a lot of power in that situation,
And she
yeah,
was bound and determined to make you an example.
she was.
Did she black out your composite picture?
Almost did.
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
What's her name?
I'm not saying that.
Do I need to
Actually,
go
I'm going to be
after?
totally honest. I don't even remember. I've blocked that. in my memory.
Text
I
one of
really
your
don't.
text one of your sorority sisters. We need the name. We'll make life miserable for this
No,
girl.
I don't want to do that. That's so mean.
Why would you say that? She was
Yeah.
grabbing her phone to do it, and then you said we're going to make her life miserable.
No, we're not going to make her life miserable.
I seriously could not tell you right
We're
now.
going to send her a fruit basket.
And my sorority was not very big. We're talking the Midwest here. We're not talking the SEC. And I literally do not remember who she was. That tells you how important the situation was to me. But hey, I'm in good standing, so.
I mean, it's a great story. If
It's
she's
real-
never told you the story before, I'm not going to ask you to tell it on the air, but
I probably won't.
It's a story that you will. I mean,
I didn't get in trouble. Let me just put it that way.
no, I mean it wasn't anything. It was just someone
It wasn't
that
something I did.
it was an abuse of power,
It was.
not on her,
No.
but the person that was giving
Yes.
her a problem.
I'm
You
intrigued.
standed on an elevated surface, didn't you, Molly?
No, I did not do that.
Did you not cross your leg when you were smoking?
I did do that. No, I'm kidding.
That's what it was. That's what it was. You were not under a roof and your legs were not crossed when you were smoking.
No, it was. I'll give
didn't
you.
have a
I'll give you
cup when you were
cliff
dipping.
notes.
All right, give me cliff notes.
that
It was
what
a
it was?
situation where I had to miss chapter because my senior year I worked 4 jobs and they didn't like the fact that I missed chapter, and they almost.
Okay, 4 jobs. You were selling liquor. You worked at the vape store. Where else did you work?
I had 2 radio jobs. I taught
Oh.
private lessons and I worked at a dance studio.
And she taste tested runs us.
And I was on the dance team, so 5. And taste tested, so 6. Yeah.
I need one of those runs us. Well, that's just go. Yeah, whatever.
See, it was
go
so
pound
stupid.
sand.
It was so stupid.
Yeah, it is stupid.
Look at it. She's getting fired up.
That's probably the most power she'll ever wield.
It probably.
Yeah.
But no, it's over now. I'm in good standing.
So what would have happened if you'd have gotten kicked out? Would that have been? I will tell you.
Well, it wasn't me getting kicked out. I wouldn't have been like an alumni. Like they would have revoked
You wouldn't have
my
been
alumni
an
status.
alum in good standing.
That had taken your
Yes.
your number away.
Yes.
All right, yeah,
Because
we
I
got to
miss-
leak this girl's address, Molly. Let's
no,
do it.
I'm not doing that.
Oh no.
She was
Let's not
picking
do
on you.
She was.
Does she have any next of kin that live down here?
I don't think so. Again, I truly do not remember her at all. And like that's how. Yeah.
I wonder where she.
She's going to
works
remember
now.
you, Molly, when we're done. Don't you worry.
Do you remember what she was studying?
No.
As long as she didn't want to be an attorney, we're good.
No idea.
As long as she didn't want to be an attorney.
But it was funny because in order to get my like points back, I guess I had to go through another person on exec.
So you had demerits.
Yes.
Oh, you had demerits.
Well, it was like a point system.
Yeah.
And
That's
because I had
demerits.
missed my last chapter, I was under the points line.
Why did you just not care about your sisterhood at that point?
I don't know, Pat. I had needed to make money.
Would y'all have
I
band
had
parties
bills
at
to
the
pay.
sorority house?
What's that?
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Did you have parties at the, where you would hire like a band to come in and play on
Yeah,
a
we're not
Friday
talking
night?
about a tea. We're talking about a let your hair down, let's get crazy.
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is
You
that
have
is that a
mixers?
common theme in
Well, we
Lincoln?
had mixers, but not like at their
Not at your
their
sorority-
house. Yeah.
Not sorority
Because
house.
Nebraska's a dry campus. Well,
Do frat guys
Right, yeah.
guys at Nebraska dress like they dress at Alabama?
no.
Auburn? Okay.
They don't. How do they dress?
Just like
Like
t-shirt.
Birkenstocks and
They wear
tank tops?
Yeezys?
No, they're not wearing Yeezys.
They can't afford them, Landrum. Come on.
Boy, my fraternity and Pat's fraternity, I guarantee you show up some Yeezys,
Oh, you're out. Are you kidding me?
you might be out.
Automatic.
Not as much like Vineyard Vines and like Southern Tide, whatever the brands
Yeah.
are. Yeah, you don't really have that. in
They have
West.
the Bama Bangs. They have the what would it
The
be in
swoop?
Nebraska?
You know, the swoop hair
Yeah.
Yeah, not as much as
with
that.
the bangs.
Yeah,
No?
I don't think so.
Well, they wear like John Deere hats.
Some of them.
Nothing wrong with that. I was just.
No, farmers keep this country running.
And I was friends
If
with
you're
a lot of
farming
them.
today, thank you.
So yeah, go Big Red.
Big Red. I got to find out this girl.
I am in good standing though. Moral of the story.
I don't know why I'm mad at this girl, but I'm mad at her now.
Well, it was funny because the other girl in exec, she was like, "I'm so sorry you have to deal with this. This is actually the dumbest thing I've ever heard."
So is this somebody? Did she cause? I guess did she have a reputation for causing problems like this?
I don't think so. Again, I really don't.
This girl's name was
remember.
Lindsay. You don't recall it, but her name was Lindsay.
Did you date her
Sure.
boyfriend?
I did not.
Okay.
I don't even know if she had a boyfriend.
What's her
We-
social
Oh,
security
oh.
number?
What's my what?
Huh?
No, I'm just trying to get all this information out
He's
about her so we
asking
can
for her
track her down.
social
Yeah,
security
what's her
number.
social security number? We're going to steal an identity.
I really don't remember her name.
She
Like,
came
I'm
into the liquor
serious.
store. She had a fake ID. Molly turned her down,
Yep.
and she held a grudge.
She was younger than me. That's all I remember. So it
Oh.
could have been. It could have been.
Jealous.
It was
Jealousy.
a power.
It could
Was
have
she
been
a Scarlet?
No,
She wasn't.
I would have remembered if she.
But
was.
I bet
bitter.
she wanted to be, didn't she?
I don't know.
How many other Scarlets were in your sorority? Any?
There was one year. There was like 10 of us, There's
Really?
a lot of us. Yeah.
How many's on the team?
22, I think. Something like that. Yeah. I think around 22.
Peeling that onion back on her college days.
That should be ESPN's 30 for 30, their next one.
My sorority life
Yeah.
at Nebraska.
That'd be
Secret sorority life.
Oh, my mom was so mad. Not at me, but at like the situation.
good. Did she make a call?
No, but I had to stop her from doing it.
Yeah.
She
This
was
girl,
not
this
happy.
girl, did she have dark hair?
Maybe.
Was she tall and skinny?
Was she a Nebraska
Maybe.
native?
Was she like olive oil?
I think.
You
I don't
think she was from
guys,
Nebraska?
I wasn't friends with
I've already
her.
profiled this girl.
Yes, you have. I wasn't friends with her, so I really don't remember.
So you're not Facebook friends.
Absolutely not. I'm pretty sure after that situation, I hit like unfollow. I was like, I'm done.
Have you blocked her on all your socials?
Probably.
So what's her name?
I don't know. I don't remember.
What was her spirit animal, Molly?
I've like blocked that whole situation out of my head
Would
because
it
I
would
want
have been
to
a
forget
three-toed
about
sloth?
it. What?
That's her spirit animal, I guarantee you.
Sure.
Sloth?
Sloth.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was not my friend.
Now see the people here in Social Taco, they're getting mad at her.
Or a sea urchin.
They want to know. They want to know who this lady is that made Molly's life miserable towards the conclusion of her illustrious Nebraska college career.
All because I had a job and I was trying to better myself and make money.
Raised 3 kids,
Right.
right?
My dogs.
Yeah.
Kidding.
Deadbeat husband. All that, just trying to dance.
Just little old me.
and Just little old me. Go to class and just do things right.
Yeah.
I need more of these Nebraska stories.
Yeah, this was a good one. Just wait till she gets
I
off
can't
air.
tell any of mine.
Well, wait till she gets off air and she really uses the colorful language.
Yes, her name was Lindsay, and yes, she was a bee.
I really do not. I'm serious.
So it's not Lindsay.
I really do not remember her name.
Was it Hope?
I don't think so. No.
Cassandra?
No.
We got. Steve is absolutely right. Molly's a crack researcher. She can find anything on anyone, so Molly is letting this slide.
I probably could find her name if I really wanted to.
You
but
absolutely
I really don't
could.
want to, though.
You could do it.
Do it.
But
Do it
me and
for
Pat
us.
want to.
Yeah, we want her name.
I'll see if I can
Ah,
pull some
see,
strings.
she's warming up to it.
Yeah.
All right, more three-man front. We are live at Social Taco, top of the hour. We'll talk to Mike Griffith from the AJCDogNation.com. I cannot believe Molly wanted to play that song. She told Conrad, play that in honor of the mean lady that almost kept her from being an alum of good standing at Nebraska.
Mean lady? This sounds like a mean, childish girl.
She was a year younger than me, so.
Dark hair. She was tall and skinny. We have theories from listeners on who this girl is. Do you want to go to the text line? 205-834-9450. And Steve says, hey, Pat, try the two-name format, like a Sarah Beth.
Okay.
Or a Heather Beth.
See, you don't have as many of those in the Midwest, though.
Mary Grace. Hey.
You don't
Leanne.
You don't really have those, though. Like, that's more of a Southern thing.
One of our listeners said her name was definitely Karen.
She's a Karen in training.
I went
That's
with Lindsay,
good.
but Karen could be appropriate.
That's funny.
Let's see here.
Was it Justine?
No. I genuinely do not remember this girl.
What if
I
her name
also-
was also Molly?
There was another Molly in my sorority, but it definitely wasn't her.
Pizza Larry, yes, you are correct, Pizza Larry. The Social Taco Mob is now forming, and they're going to make it determined. And some of these folks are retired, so they got time. They're going to pick this up as like a hobby, hunting down Molly's foe.
I will say, I was very lucky because in my 4 years, that was the one, I guess, bad thing that happened to me within my, I never got into any drama or anything, and my pledge classes were all so small, we didn't really have that. And she wasn't even my pledge class. I didn't really know her. She was on exec board.
You should have hazed her when she was going through pledgeship. You should have.
These hands don't haze, Landrum.
Well, I know. You girls are terrible. You do it with your mouth and your sassiness. That's worse. Bows and toes. Jimmy says, I bet Brenda knows who tried to ruin Molly. Brenda.
Oh. Like who?
Auburn fan Brenda that texts in the show.
Oh, yeah.
That used to text all the time until Molly started working with us.
Yeah, it's kind of odd how that happened.
I don't know.
This one rolling in. Thanks, Landrum, for the shout-out to all the farmers out there. I appreciate it because it's miserable out in this heat. We farm in Blount County, Alabama, the old stomping grounds of Conrad Toothbrush Van Order.
There we go. Shout out Blount County.
Hey, thank you for getting it today. We appreciate it every day. What will happen with the chip challenge, Brant wants to know. The hot chip challenge. We got to pay that off before the start of football season.
Yeah. When are we doing it?
Let's set a date.
I've been begging y'all to let me just get this over with.
Let's do it on, how about this Friday? In Fuego Friday? All right, chip challenge this Friday, and we'll do it at
Like 12:30?
we want to do it later in the show because we're going to have stuff that you still need to do. I'm thinking selfishly here, and I know how I was after the chip challenge, Conrad. You're not going to be worth anything to anyone after you do it.
Am I going to be able to drive home?
Yeah, you'll be able to drive home. You might want to wear some Depends.
Thank you.
All right, so Friday we'll do it at what? 12:30?
Sure.
All right, 12:30. Hot chip challenge this Friday. Conrad will be consuming a chip that they no longer offer on the market because apparently
It killed a kid.
yes, it did. Happy times. All right, coming up next hour, we're going to talk to Steve Wiltfong. There's Howie. Hope he's doing well. And also Mike Griffith. He will update us on his travels and his thoughts on not only Georgia, but the SEC heading into the 2025 season. Three-man front live from Social Taco. Come and join us. Plenty of time here on Jox.
It is 1 o'clock, the fourth and final hour. We're live at Social Taco. You know, we normally on Tuesday, we start the show by talking to Mike Griffith from the AJCDogNation.com. He was doing some traveling today, so we've been able to track him down, and he joins us now on the Higginbotham hotline. Mike, I hope you're doing well on this wonderful, cool, pleasant day in the Deep South.
Yeah, I know now that I live in Georgia, I'm not supposed to call it Hotlanta, but it fits today. It's a steamer for sure. Just came walking out of the airport, and it just, man, hit me right in the face. Here we go. Almost time for ball drills to start this week.
Oh, it's going to be beautiful. I want to start with this. I know you don't cover Florida, but I am curious to get your thoughts on this. Billy Napier meeting with the media just a few moments ago. He says that DJ Lagway will be limited as the Gators start preseason camp. That's kind of a big story. Don't you agree that all of a sudden a guy that did not go through spring drills is now going to be slowed and not participate in the beginning of fall camp?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. They kind of gave us the indication that everything was okay at media days, and maybe that was wishful thinking. Or maybe there was another setback between then and now, or maybe they're just being cautious. But, you know, it's pretty typical. I mean, college coaches are pretty guarded with their talent and what's going on with them. I don't think it helps. I think it's better when they're more transparent because I think it kind of adds to the media circus and fuels rumors. But, you know, that's kind of the college coaching way. And, you know, my hope is now that players are being paid and we're treating this more like a professional sport, that there'll be more transparency. You know, I watch these highlights from NFL training camps, and I'm not thinking to myself, oh, my gosh, that team won't win a Super Bowl now. They had an open practice. You know, it's kind of time for these college coaches to put the big boy pants on and let the fans see what they're paying for, because there's definitely a premium now to follow college sports, whether it's paying for certain channels or ticket prices.
Mike, we've been talking about quarterbacks, SEC quarterbacks, heading into the season. We've been discussing it today. If there is one quarterback who has gotten a lot of praise without a lot of results, where the ceiling is very high, but if this quarterback crashes and burns, doesn't meet expectations, it can mean doom for their team. Who would that be in the SEC this season?
Well, I mean, you used a couple of really subjective words there. I don't know what doom is, but if Texas doesn't make the playoff with Arch Manning, then that's kind of a bust, right, for Texas with the expectations and the advantageous schedule that they have, only playing two teams in the league that had a winning league record last year. That certainly is a pleasant schedule. And then even then, you know, they do have a road game at Georgia, but, you know, it just worked out where they have a bye week before they play Georgia, and of course Georgia doesn't. Georgia has a road game in the SEC the week before. So I don't know, guys. I almost feel like, given the choice between a bye week in November before a game when the other team doesn't have one, or being at home, I almost feel like the bye week may be more valuable.
Mike Griffith joins us from the AJCDogNation.com. He's been traveling. He joins us here on the Higginbotham hotline. All right, so let's talk about Georgia. The big storylines that you guys will be covering at the AJC in regards to Kirby Smart and those guys starting fall camp.
Well, I mean, it's all about quarterback play and how well Gunner and how quickly. And I don't think this is too different than Alabama's, except that, you know, Alabama's got their leading receivers back, and I think that's a really big advantage for the Tide and the timing that the quarterbacks are going to have, whereas, you know, Gunner's having to adapt to these guys pretty quickly. You know, a lot of these leading targets, Noah Thomas and Branch particularly, are both transfer portal guys. And, you know, so how quickly does Gunner get the timing down? How well does he work with him? How quickly does Mike Bobo, you know, figure out, you know, how he wants to use these players to his advantage? Who can do what? Who fits where? Now, Georgia, you could say they have an advantage of a couple of really easy games coming out of the gate with Marshall and Austin Peay, kind of like scrimmages, before they travel to Neyland Stadium to play Tennessee. But that Tennessee game's really the only litmus test they have before Alabama comes in, whereas, you know, boy, I look at Alabama's schedule, and how exciting is it that the Crimson Tide gets to open up at Florida State, and a trash-talking Florida State at that. I mean, boy, that makes it really fun when the other team's talking smack against Alabama. I think the last time that happened, Vanderbilt learned a very valuable lesson years back when Vandy was suggesting they might beat Nick Saban in Alabama. Little did we know that would one day happen sooner than we thought. But still, fact of the matter is, I don't think I'll ever forget that. I don't want to say Paul picked Vanderbilt. I don't think he did, but I think he expressed. I think Paul Feinbaum might have suggested that was going to be a close game.
Well, it was because of his wife. His wife graduated from Vanderbilt, so there was that Vandy, angle from their household. So.
Oh, I'm going to use that one. I need to think about all my relatives that are attached to other schools when I'm wrong on a prediction. And so and so talked me into this good.
That's right.
But yeah,
absolutely.
But the point is, I think that's good for Alabama. That the other team's talking that smack and really, jacking up. Not that Alabama needs any more encouragement, but I think it adds a lot to preseason preparation when you open the season with a game like that. I've noticed for Georgia, when they opened with Oregon or when they opened with Clemson, there was just a different temperament, it felt like, in the preseason prep. And then if I'm not mistaken, Alabama also gets to play Wisconsin, right? So they've got a couple of really big games in September before they go to Georgia.
Outside of the top 4 teams, Mike, Alabama, Texas, no specific order, Georgia, throw in LSU. Who is the team outside of those 4 that you don't think we're talking enough about?
Oh, man, that's tough. You've got a couple. Ole Miss, we don't know what Austin Simmons is going to do. He certainly looked good in his abbreviated time against Georgia. But, such a transfer-heavy team that you don't really know exactly what to pick. I had Florida in that on-deck circle, but, these reports with DJ Lagway, they really make you question if he'll be ready and to what extent he'll be ready for the season opener. And, because I feel like we were misled at SEC Media Days, I don't believe there was full transparency from the player or the coach. Now, again, maybe there was and there's been a setback since then, or maybe they're exercising more caution. But the report from SEC Media Days in Atlanta just a couple weeks ago was that he was, full go and ready to go. But, again, I guess ready to go is subjective. Maybe ready to go meant ready to go on a limited basis. That wasn't what my takeaway was. But once again, there is a lack of transparency in college football that I think is somewhat embarrassing to the sport at this stage.
Mike, you have been on the record with us and at SEC Media Days in regards to those that want to put a hot seat moniker on Brian Kelly at LSU. If there was one particular coach in this conference and the wheels absolutely fell off, I'm talking, a 3-9 season, that type of deal. Is there one particular coach that you would find very difficult to think that they will be back in 2026?
Hugh Freeze.
Okay.
I think he would be one. Sam Pittman would probably be another. Mark Stoops potentially. I mean, part of what makes this harder to guesstimate is that the money that's used to buy out coaches is also money that can be used to help support other programs. I mean, would you rather, fire a coach with a $30 million buyout or fund a non-revenue sport rather than cut it potentially? Or not update the facilities, or cut a staff nutritionalist, or not proceed with some of your facilities planning. I mean, that's the danger of these monstrous buyouts. And to me, I think that's not what's talked about enough, is the coaching buyout numbers and the coaching salaries. But I suppose Nick Saban proved his worth, and he was really high paid at that time. So there's something to be said for the value of a head coach, but to me, I think those numbers have gotten really high. I mean, when I guess Kirby makes $14 million, and we're gasping for air if a quarterback makes $2 million. I think that as times go by, maybe those numbers get a little closer together in value to a team.
2-part question: what are your thoughts on the potential of North Carolina joining the SEC, and who would be the perfect dancing partner to come with them?
Well, so there's a couple ways to look at it, from a conventional standpoint, in terms of who we think belongs and fits and has the personality. Clemson certainly would seem to fit. Florida State would seem to have that personality as well. But these decisions aren't made based on personality. They're based on pocketbooks and television markets. And so that would be Virginia and North Carolina, because they would bring 2 new television markets into the SEC footprint, and you'd still be honoring, the geographical integrity, as Greg Sankey likes to call it. I mean, the Southeastern Conference states are all attached. It's not just SEC, in name, it's SEC in practice, and I think there's something to be said for that. That said, it's hard to look twice at the Big Ten for adding the Los Angeles television market and the New York television market when they added Rutgers and Maryland in 2014. Those decisions paid off economically. And therefore, I think North Carolina and Virginia and the markets they would bring would certainly add value to the SEC.
All right, Mike, I have to ask you this in regards to, I guess, the rest of the league. Is there one other team that, and I know Landrum kind of asked you about this earlier, but maybe a team that maybe is not getting as much love, and you kind of scratch your head and you go, you know what, I'm just really not sure what everybody else is not seeing that I am seeing in regards to a team that will be extremely competitive, and if certain things happen the right way, they can compete for an SEC championship potentially?
Well, you had me right up until you said compete for an SEC championship. I think a team could make the playoff. I think to me that's more of a
let's go there.
I think it's Auburn. I think Auburn has that ceiling, and again, I know I said earlier in the conversation that Hugh Freeze could be fired with a 3-9 year, but, to me, this is a real boom or bust program. And a lot of it has to do with just the history of the program and, I guess, the environment, the atmosphere. I just don't underestimate Auburn. It's one of those programs that you say, boy, like Oklahoma, right? Let's throw them in there too. These are 2 programs that traditionally find a way. They don't stay down long. And, you get a good coach in there with good players, and it's almost like, the football environment takes care of itself. And I think about some of Auburn's games and how well they've played at times and how close maybe they were to getting that signature win that could give them the momentum to build on. And yet I have a lot of questions about how things will work out. I mean, Auburn's quarterback transfer, how successful it can be. We're talking about a guy that was the number 3 overall recruit going into the season just a year ago in the country. I mean, that's, every bit. It's, right there in Arch Manning world when it comes to talent and hype. And so if the Auburn quarterback situation works out and they get some momentum, that's a program that can beat some teams. Now, they have a challenging schedule, but they're playing teams in Auburn and in Georgia and Alabama that both have first-year starting quarterbacks. And while I'm, relatively bullish on both of those teams, thinking both of those teams are playoff teams, there's a scenario where one of those quarterback situations don't work out. I feel Alabama's is probably a better quarterback situation than Georgia. I like that Alabama has their offensive line returning. I like that they have 2 elite receivers. I think Womack in his second year is going to do some things defensively. There seems to be more momentum for Alabama than Georgia right now. But again, Auburn is a program that's played both of these teams tough when seemingly they shouldn't. And if they can take care of business against the teams they're supposed to win and get elevated quarterback play, and as I've said before, Hugh Freeze's knuckleball has some movement on it. I mean, this is a guy who has been a very good coach at his best. And if things line up for Auburn, that's going to be a really dangerous program. And I know that Georgia game at Auburn is one under the lights that maybe Georgia fans don't outwardly say much about it, but they've been to Jordan-Hare enough times to know what can happen in that stadium.
Speaking of Jordan-Hare, I was pressure washing the other day, and my neighbor said we ought to video this and send it to Griffith.
Well, I don't think it's too much to ask. I mean, because again, it's personal to me. Because I'll never forget when I got put on the Auburn beat. I'd never been to Auburn before I became the beat writer, and I remember driving up to the stadium and just being amazed at how beautiful it was and how well kept it was, and just the landscaping, and they had flowers around there, and everything just seemed so premium. And I just, to me, that was like, wow, I really arrived. I've really arrived in the business. I think I was 27 years old, and I was on cloud 9. Like, man, this is going to be unbelievable. I'm covering a honest-to-goodness, big-time SEC program, and everybody told me how bad Auburn was going to be because, they were 5-6 and 5-1, and Pat Dye was gone, and they hired this Terry Bowden guy nobody really wanted, and they went in 11-0. So I suppose bringing it back to the interview, there wasn't a lot expected of 1993 Auburn, not at all. But Stan White played really well. The team came together. They won a lot of close games. And Terry Bowden proved an ingenious coach. I believe he won his first 19 games. I don't think he gets nearly enough credit for that. I think that's sad that people don't recognize what an incredible job he did. He beat Steve Spurrier twice in a row, which nobody else did in 93 and 94. I mean, Terry Bowden was one heck of a football coach at Auburn, and I know that story didn't end well, but that was a really special time for Auburn football. And I know they've had great times since then. Tommy Tuberville did some things, Gus Malzahn. But to me, that was a really special time and a really difficult time for the program. And one of those things we just didn't expect to happen for Auburn to go 11-0 in 1993. I'm still amazed by that team, and I'm really glad that I was there to have a front row seat for it and get to know Terry Bowden.
And I think it was the tie to Georgia prior to the Iron Bowl that broke that winning streak that Terry Bowden had, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, well, yeah, but he didn't lose, so that was pretty amazing. But to your point, and again, that team had talent. Coach Dye had done a great job recruiting those guys. But remember how it was back then, when a program was under investigation for the NCAA, or players weren't academically eligible. I'm not going to name some names, but there were some really key Auburn guys that weren't academically eligible that became eligible in '94 and really lifted the team. So we don't worry about academic ineligibility anymore. It's amazing how well these kids learn online now. It's amazing. It's almost like they can't miss.
Yeah.
And the NCAA investigation is so toothless and hollow now, just because of the way, witness Michigan and how they'll decide when their coach will be suspended. And 2 years later, it's not what it was. And so I think the distractions are at a minimum. For programs now. It seems like contract disputes are the big thing now, not really rules, because now that you're paying players outwardly, what rules are there to break? I mean, obviously, if someone gets in trouble with the law, certainly, but in terms of, compliance, I don't know. Texas rolls Lamborghinis out on the field during recruiting visits, and that's cool and okay. So I guess that's probably a big difference, I would say.
All right, you need to go to Gulf Shores Getaway AL on Instagram, and I know you probably got a few more dates that are open on the calendar if folks want to get down to the Gulf Shores and enjoy your wonderful, wonderful property down there.
Yeah, I got a good friend of mine from Knoxville that's down there with his family, and Pat, when you were down there, it's personal to me.
Yep.
When it's someone, I can't wait for the JOX person that cashes in on, the 25% off offer. But right now it looks like the second and third week of August. I think the first week's taken and maybe a late August weekend, but second and third week of August. And I think they just announced they're going to have this big concert bash again down at Gulf Shores next May. That always fills up really fast. But yeah, people take a look at it, and, if it seems like somewhere you want to go visit, and you want to stay at a really nice place, it'll hold up to 10 people, maybe you and another family or an extended family, your mom, your dad, uncles, aunts, cousins. I mean, it's big enough to take in and sleep 10 people comfortably, and it's close enough, as you know, Pat, that you're literally 60 yards from the beach.
Oh yeah,
so
it's no problem at all. Yeah,
convenient. Yeah,
no, it's great.
So I hope people, but again, I love hearing that people are enjoying it. That means a lot to me. Makes me feel good about, rolling the dice and making an investment. You never know how things are going to go, but man, Gulf Shores is having a whale of a infrastructure build right now, and they just announced Nashville flights are going to be flying in 4 miles from the condo. They've added Nashville to Knoxville, Kansas City, Houston. I mean, check it out. Allegiant's going in there from everywhere. So it's getting bigger, more traffic, but I think it still has that beach town feel to it. So I appreciate you bringing it up. I do take a lot of pride in owning the Alabama property, and I'm glad everybody's enjoying it as much as they have.
Absolutely. That is Mike Griffith from the AJC. I know it's been a busy day for you, Mike, a lot of traveling. We will let you go, and we look forward to catching up with you next week.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike. That's Mike Griffith joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline. All of our guests join us on that Higginbotham Hotline. You deserve solutions that are built for you. Higginbotham is your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services.
Some takeaways what Mike Griffith just told us as we continue live from Social Taco here in Homewood, three-man front on a hot Tuesday on Jox.
Always a great conversation with Mike Griffith from the AJC, DogNation.com. The Georgia Bulldogs will be getting on the practice field just like Alabama and Auburn. Auburn gets underway at 9:50 tomorrow morning. Bama at 11 o'clock as fall camp is officially here.
We'll celebrate the kickoff to college football with us at the Bill Smith Buick GMC Jox Kickoff Party at Regions Field on Thursday, August 21st. And the only way to go is by winning tickets. So to win a pair of tickets for you and a guest, text the keyword FUN, that's F-U-N, FUN, and your full name to 205-834-9450. Once again, that's keyword FUN and your full name to 205-834-9450. Winners are drawn and notified daily. And so for more information, go and check out joxfm.com.
So John Gruden is in Detroit, Michigan. He is, I guess it's right outside Detroit, in which the Lions are having their fall camp. And this is from Dave Burkett from the Detroit Free Press. This is directly from John Gruden. Hopefully I'm not done. I'm about to make a comeback. I'm working hard to maybe get one more shot, but hopefully some of these guys that fell off my branch, if you say it that way, maybe they can hire me because I'm looking for a job, end of quote.
NFL, I'm guessing, is the realm that he wants to stay in if he gets back into it or if they allow him to come back into it. I think a perfect spot would be send him overseas. If you open up a NFL team in – whether it be England
or Germany,
put Gruden over there.
Gruden was then asked whether he sees a return to the NFL as realistic, explaining that he will return to coaching at the high school level if that's what it takes to get back on the sidelines. Quoting Gruden, "I don't care if I coach at Jones Junior High. I'm going to coach again. I'm still coaching. I'm just not on a team officially, but I do have some private assignments I work on, and I wear some gear when I'm watching the games that nobody knows that I'm pulling for."
Okay.
Well, I'm just thinking in terms of opportunities he might have after this year. Maybe the Browns. Maybe the Titans if they feel like Callahan's not the answer this quickly. Maybe the Giants. I don't know who else is going to be looking for a new head coach.
They also asked him about his role at Barstool. And he says that he's looking forward to this upcoming season with Barstool because they have some really neat stuff that's coming up. He says, according to this story out of the Detroit Free Press, these are young people, creative people. I'm trying to find my niche. I don't know how I got into opening these boxes, but if you have a box and want me to open it, send it to me. But it's cool people, and we're going to do some really neat stuff during the season. I really like the guys I'm working with, end of quote.
Yeah, John Gruden is always entertaining. One of the few seasons of Hard Knocks I ever watched was when John Gruden was the coach of the Raiders, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But there's a reason why he is not coaching.
You think that stuff's been forgiven, though?
And that'd be a great question for players, other coaches in the league.
So I just wonder, is this a situation where I was about to say, so would a team, if they wanted to interview or hire John Gruden, do they have to go through Goodell and I guess essentially ask, hey, is it okay for us to, conduct this interview? Is he even welcome back in the NFL?
If it's not official, where that's the protocol, I would think that you need to get his blessing or the league's blessing prior to doing that. Kind of like it's happened here in the past with coaches who might have had past issues, whether it be NCAA or personal. If a school in the Southeastern Conference was interested in interviewing them, then a courtesy call to Commissioner Greg Sankey. Number one, we don't want to waste our time, but also number two, you don't need to hear about this from somebody else.
Yeah, there's a reason why I think that he has not had an opportunity in the NFL. Now, there was always a crazy rumor back in the day because he was an assistant coach at Tennessee. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And when Tennessee had a couple of openings, there were all sorts of rumors on the Tennessee message boards. Oh, I just saw him at Calhoun's over the river. Yeah, Knoxville. He's eating barbecue. Yep, he's interviewing for the job. He's the next head coach. That was almost every single time Tennessee had an opening. It's not that way anymore.
No, is there a Power 4 school that you can think of that would say, to heck with the criticism, we're hiring the guy?
I think so. I mean, has it stopped Oklahoma State from keeping Mike Gundy employed?
It's fair.
I think there's numerous schools that would be like, you know what?
What if he, when Deion moves on, is his replacement in Boulder?
Wouldn't be shocked. I think Gruden will coach again. Not really sure he'll be in the NFL, but he will coach again.
I would lean closer to Jones High School than I would an NFL team.
Probably a good bet.
Maybe Tennessee needs an offensive coordinator since they don't have one in the top 10.
Yeah, according to Andy Staples. Yeah. When we come back on Three Man Front, we'll do some Pat Ponders as we roll along on this very hot, steamy Tuesday. Thanks for tuning us in. This is Jox, Three Man Front. It is 1:33 on Jox 94.5. Don has made an appearance just in time to get him some wonderful BB homemade made banana pudding. Everyone is raving about it. I'm not Damien is shaking his head. He goes, oh, yeah. He's like in a catatonic state over here.
Yeah, he needs. He's ready to watch the soap operas. Put on his leisure wear.
Yeah.
Watch
Kinda
his
chill out.
stories.
Yeah. All right, let's do some Pat Ponders. It's brought to you each and every day by Courtesy GMC and Trustful.
I wanna know what you're thinking. Tell me what's on your mind.
It's time for Pat Ponders.
Brought to you by Courtesy GMC and Trustful. Get by and see them right off of I-459 exit 32 or visit their online inventory at courtesybirmingham.com. All right, question number 1. You are given a free ticket and all expenses paid to see 3 regular season games this year in college football. Now, the only rule is you can't see the same team play twice.
Oh, man.
What games are you going to go to?
I go to Texas, Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, and Army Navy.
Oh, see, this is tough because obviously I'm going to pick a Nebraska game, but this year Nebraska plays Penn State, and I've always wanted to go to Penn State. But then they also play UCLA, and I've always wanted to go to the Rose Bowl.
Nah, you're not missing anything.
I know, but Andrew, I still always want to go. I'd probably pick Nebraska, Penn State though, and then I'd probably say the same: Texas, Ohio State, and then Georgia, Alabama.
Okay. How about you, Conrad?
So since I can only see each team one time, I will go Texas, Ohio State to start off. I will then take a trip to Big Ten country. Since I can't see Ohio State again, I will watch Oregon and Penn State.
Ooh,
It's a good
go
one.
to P-Town after.
And then the third, that's right, and I can go to P-Town afterwards. And my third pick, no, I am not going to go to Alabama and Georgia. I'm going to go to Alabama when they host Oklahoma in Tuscaloosa so I can get that bad, disgusting taste out of my mouth from last season.
I thought you were going to say Vanderbilt, Alabama.
I thought about it, but no, the Oklahoma one's more personal because of
Hey.
the links that we went to go to that game.
Conrad, if Oklahoma does it again, they beat Alabama at BDS. Will you agree that if that happens, you will have to refer to Brent Venables as "You're my daddy, Venables"?
Oh, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
No problem.
There you go.
See, it's that easy.
Question number 2. Are media days dying? And if so, what would you recommend to do to save them?
I don't think they're dying. I think that you could certainly make them more entertaining. I like the theme park idea.
Put it at a theme park like SEC goes to Disney?
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that idea.
There's just a lot of other features that you could have inside of the event where it's not just this particular coach, this
Yeah.
particular player. Let's send it back to the desk, and it's Paul and the likes. I'm just thinking from a viewer standpoint. I mean, we are getting what we need out of the event, but I think it would be cool to change it up, and especially with the ESPN contractual ties they have to the SEC, why not do it at Disney?
So the easy, or I guess maybe a quick solution, particularly for the SEC, move a bigger names program to the final day to kind of make it feel, because, I mean, I think we all agree, right? It feels like it's a 4-day event, but really kind of feels like a 3-day event. So I think that would certainly help with just the entire event and giving it buzz kind of the whole week. But my more dramatic idea would be you hook every coach up to a lie detector as they answer questions from the media, and when they go BS coach speak, there's a loud beep that goes off and everyone knows it.
I like the lie detector idea, or when you're pairing up coaches and players, pair them up based on, like, if they've had beef in the past, or, if, let's say, a player transferred from one school to other school, you would put those schools together on the same day. I like drama.
Why don't I have a mini draft?
Or I'd say this, kind of playing off Molly's idea. What if, like, the next coach up gets to ask the previous coach a question?
That's good.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
And it starts off by like Commissioner Sankey, like whoever the first coach is of the day, he asks the question.
Do they randomly draw it, or do they just strategically do it? Because if Hugh Freeze is talking and Lane Kiffin is asking the question, that would be interesting.
Or when Lane Kiffin goes up to speak, make sure Paul is right next to him.
Yeah.
Mark Stoops and Shane Beamer.
Right.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
That would be good. All right, next question. Which of these state of Florida college quarterbacks will have a better season? Carson Beck, Tommy Castellanos, or DJ Lagway? Which one of those three is going to have the better season in the state of Florida?
DJ Conrad, you're not going to like this. I like Castellanos.
Out of all three of those guys?
Just the schedule that they play, and I think the offense fits him perfectly. DJ Lagway, worried about the injury. I think Mike Griffith's kind of hitting around to it. There might be a little more something there. And then Carson Beck is he is so worried about other things right now.
Sorry, Conrad, go ahead.
I will say this. I think DJ Lagway has more talent in his injured calf than Thomas Castellanos has in his entire body. So I'm going to continue to go with DJ Lagway. There's a reason I picked him as my first-team SEC quarterback. I think he's going to be healthy. I think he's going to have a big year, absolutely light it up.
If he's healthy, yes, but we haven't seen him healthy.
See, I want to say DJ Lagway too, but only if he's healthy. But if I weren't to say DJ Lagway, I'd probably go Carson Beck.
All right, so you go Beck.
I'll go back then, yeah.
You go Castellanos.
The numbers are going to be insane in that offense.
Okay.
Especially in the first game.
How many legs are gonna work after that first game, Landrum?
FSU Dave.
FSU Dave's not happy right now.
Yeah, first play, trick play.
Well, neither is DeAndre Francois.
He runs out for a pass.
Oh. All right, next question. On this date 30 years ago, the Carolina Panthers played their first game as a franchise, a preseason contest versus the Jacksonville Jags. The franchise has had its limited success, meanwhile, in Charlotte, and they've disappointed. If you were to relocate the Panthers to another market, where would be the perfect fit in your opinion?
Ooh.
I mean, if we're keeping with the regions of the way that the divisions are broken up, and since they're in the NFC South, I mean, I would say Birmingham. You have Bryce Young as a quarterback. That would certainly draw interest from the locals for a couple of years. I mean, I'm just saying, if you got to stay in the South to keep with the way the divisions work out, I think Birmingham would be the next best option.
I would think Birmingham, or what about St. Louis getting a team back?
I like it.
Like, would St. Louis fans be happy with that? You know?
Oh,
they're packing it out for the UFL.
See, that's what I was thinking.
They'd be really excited. So that was going to be my choice. But now I will say move a team back to San Diego.
That's good.
But you'd really mess the divisions up then.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
Well, they're in the south part of California.
That's true. Yeah. Isn't it crazy 30 years ago today?
Yeah.
Just flown by. It's crazy. All right, final question of the day.
Boise, Idaho, if we're going to take.
Sure.
And it's already a blue field, just a different color.
All right, this one's from BB. What is your favorite game show, past or present?
I love Jeopardy.
Molly goes Jeopardy.
Family Feud.
Conrad goes Family Feud. Landrum?
Like both of those, Wheel of Fortune was always great, but I will go old school. And
Joker's
I don't know why
Wild.
I watched this as
Password.
a kid. The Newlywed Game with Bob Eubanks. They'd write on the
Newlywed
cards. Yep, they'd write on the cards. Whoopee.
Oh, is that the one where
Squares.
they always had to call it Whoopee?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the Hollywood Squares.
Remember back then it was the $10,000 pyramid, then it went up to $100,000. I don't even know what it is now. Is it $1 million?
I really enjoyed Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
I was
when it
gonna
first came out,
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool.
I enjoyed that too, yeah.
Which ones you like? Hollywood Squares, that's what BB. Pressure luck, no whammies.
What?
Hollywood Squares.
That was really good.
What was yours, Pat?
I'm Jeopardy.
Left
like
Connection.
Molly. Love Connection. That was a good one.
That was good,
Chuck
actually.
Woolery.
Golly, you watch some of those old episodes, and it's like, hey, get a room.
Chuck
It's
Woolery.
very risque.
Yeah. All right, that is today's Pat Ponders, brought to you by Courtesy GMC. Go to their website, courtesybirmingham.com.
We continue live here from Social Taco in Homewood. You can check out the menu if you can't make it before we close out things. Half off happy hour, 3 to 6. The patio is open, but you can come inside. It's a nice chilly 68 degrees inside of Social Taco in the square here in Homewood as we continue three-man front on Jox.
.145 here on Jox. Welcome back. This is Three Man Front. Pat, Landrum, Molly. Been here on location at Social Taco. Appreciate everybody stopping by and seeing us. Conrad back high atop Red Mountain. We've got plenty of text messages coming in on the Courtesy GMC text line.
Yeah, we got some really good interaction going back to Pat Ponders, and then prior to that, Conrad Van Chaos texting the show. He says, put media days in an SEC campus basketball stadium every year. Give it the NFL draft production feel.
Oh, okay. Not bad. The only problem with that is that when it's Vanderbilt Day, I'm not really sure how much excitement you're going to get. Just saying.
Brandon says Landrum wants Paul Feinbaum interviewing coaches on the Tower of Terror. That would be great.
That's awesome.
That would be hilarious.
Who doesn't want that?
I think you get a corporate sponsor, you have raffles, or folks like us, even text to win viewers watching the SEC Network during media days, and you got cash prizes.
Ooh, what if they did like a listener question?
Yeah,
Like not the media, but you can call in and ask Lane Kiffin a question.
yeah.
Oh, that happens now with podcasters.
Well, yeah.
Have some kind of skills challenge, maybe.
Ooh, that would be fun.
I would love to know what would happen if podcasters did not get credentialed.
Put them on the set, the obstacle course of Wipeout.
That'd be good.
That'd
Make
be
the
so
coaches go through the obstacle course on the way to the podium.
Yes.
Then week 1, you've got coaches in neck braces and getting wheeled out there.
Look
'Cause
like
they-
Bobby Petrino.
Right. Who would win a fight between Stoops and Beamer? Darren from Tennessee wants to know.
Ooh. I mean, Stoops is thicker. I don't know. Shane Beamer's kind of got that youthful energy to him, though.
Yeah.
But we know he's injury prone because he broke his foot on that cooler.
Yeah, but we're not talking like sanction, nothing below the belt. If there's no such thing as a fair fight mindset.
Yeah, I'll go Beamer.
I don't know.
I think I might go Stoops.
I don't know. I kind of want to go Stoops. Growing up in the Stoops house,
Yeah.
how competitive they were.
Think Bob taught him a couple things?
A lot of his anger being taken out now with the transfer portal and all the politicking he has to do with his boosters. Mark Stoops just strikes me as a person that's just not super happy right now
No.
with anything. This one rolling in. Vanna White was on The Price is Right, and Ted Bundy was on The Dating Game.
I did not know that about Bundy.
I knew that about Bundy. I didn't know about Vanna.
Vanna White has like my dream job when I'm much older.
Turning letters?
Yes. Bing.
Or she didn't turn them anymore.
Yeah, she
But
just
she just
points to
taps
him.
them, yeah. I think that'd be such a fun job.
It'd be a great job.
It'd be fun, yeah. Get to dress up every day, like the 30 days of the year you work.
You tape a bunch of shows don't you?
I think it's
They tape a ton.
Oh, yeah, their work schedule's incredible.
yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
over a 3-week period.
Yeah.
Like multiple shows every day.
Like 40 years from now, I want to do that.
Gavin texts into the show. He says, friendly reminder, 59 days until the Dogs beat the Tide by 3 scores.
Woo!
It's a big check. Big check. Jason says, make SEC Media Days players-only driven media event with the boring coach speak to a minimum. I'm all about that. Going back to 3 games you can watch, can't use the same team twice from Pat Ponders. Bama, Georgia, Penn State, Ohio State, Washington, UCLA, just because I want to see a game in the Rose Bowl and get a paid trip to L.A., says our listener.
There you go.
That's good.
All expense paid, right?
I thought he was going to say see a game at Washington. I would like to see a game.
In
I
Seattle.
would love to,
Seattle.
yeah.
Yep.
Over, what is that? Isn't that Montlake?
It's a gorgeous stadium, though.
I can't make heads or tails of this one. Conrad's going to be doing the Hot Chip Challenge on Friday here on the show at 12:30. This one says, I did the world's hottest hot sauce challenge, did a dab on my finger. Anyways, that part wasn't bad. However, I had to relieve myself afterwards. Obviously washed my hands before, but I guess I still had heat residue on my fingers. After I got done doing my business, that region was on fire, burned for at least 4 hours. Be sure to wear gloves and wash your hands real well, Conrad. Godspeed.
Good Lord. All right, so am I allowed to – are gloves allowed?
Yeah, you can use gloves.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
We're not savages.
That's
Well,
no problem then.
Pat kind of grimaced when I said you can use gloves, but you can use gloves.
See, I was expecting you to say no gloves, so I appreciate the
No, you use gloves.
the kindness.
No, it's a good idea to use
you've been
gloves.
through this, so you know what.
Yeah, you need to use gloves.
You know what mountain I'm staring up at. Yeah.
Yep. Going back to Molly and her vendetta that she has.
V for vendetta.
The former sorority sister in Nebraska. This one reads, we all know Molly is secretly stalking this woman, leaving dead animals on her doorstep and sending her dead flowers.
You're not supposed to say that.
I cannot believe Molly would do that.
You're not supposed to say that, Landrum.
Lindsay, she's drinking her caramel latte. She's in her Lululemon yoga pants. Oh, I
Someone
guess
left you a present.
Amazon just dropped off something. Only to find it's a squirrel.
See, Molly must have watched the movie Seven in her free time. She took some notes from Kevin Spacey.
Still haven't seen that. And I don't think I
What's
ever
in the
will.
box? Yeah, it turns out that Kevin Spacey, the creeps he played in movies.
Actually pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Posey, sorry, we missed it. But he said, ask Mike Griffith his opinion of Yahoo ranking of the best stadiums. That's kind of where I was going with the Jordan Hare pressure washing comment. Speaking of Mike Griffith, we appreciate him joining us today. Nathan King talking Auburn. All portions of the show can be found there at joxfm.com, the three-man front podcast. Coming up tomorrow, Pat, it's going to be a loaded-up hump day.
Absolutely. Brian Edwards is going to join us from Vegas Insider. He has posted his latest article at majorwager.com in which he handicaps the Heisman Trophy candidates. We'll talk to him about that. Also, Ralph Russo from The Athletic, national college football writer for the publication. He will join us, give us his thoughts on what's ahead for the college football season.
Enjoy the happy hour here at Social Taco in the Square in Homewood. If you can't get by today, get by this week. We appreciate all of you. Stay hydrated, stay cool. God is great, even if the Atlanta Braves aren't.